Messages are visible. What it do? Reflections. What it do, y'all? How y'all feeling? I'm an hour early gonna come back. Y'all must don't see me. Somebody talking about that hour early they gonna come back. Y'all can't see me yet. Am I not live? Peace, God. I'm literally in here watching y'all comment. And I'm like, well, they must can't see me. Cause people talking about they coming back. Supreme God is what it do. Oh, okay, y'all can see me. Okay, cool. I didn't know. I ain't know y'all, cause I'm in here watching y'all comment. And I seen the motherfucker like, well, I'm an hour early. I'm gonna go ahead and come back. I'm like an hour early. I'm sitting right here. Reflection. They must can't see me. How y'all feeling out there? We here on a Sunday. Sunday. YouTube live. What it do? YouTube, we know y'all only get these once a week from us, so we got y'all. YouTube, the university, we coming to YouTube today. We back over here once, you know what it is. I'm live from the crib, I'm cool, and I'm in my jammies. Coming to jam with y'all on this real shit today. If you just got in here, smash the like button. Thank you. Reflections. Hey, face ass. What's the word? Dang, I feel like something burn my eye. Something. Falcon lover, BTR. What it do, guys and goddesses? We here today, y'all. I'm glad we gathered. Y'all just getting in here. Smash the like button. I see 94. Y'all know I gotta roll up, man. Listen, I'm out of King Palms. I've been smoking all night. I'm out of King Palms, y'all. I'm out of King Palms, man. I'm out of Palms, y'all. I've been smoking all night. This all I got left. I ain't want to halt class no longer. Otherwise, y'all would have been waiting for me to run to the stove. I got my emergencies on deck, though. I'm not gonna be smoking the whole lecture anyway. I'm gonna roll up one. We finna get right to it. I've been waiting to talk to y'all over here on YouTube. I've been waiting to lecture about these black extraterrestrials and the truth about Malcolm X, family. And I feel like, this is the last week of their fake ass Black History Month. So it's only right, we gonna close the week. We gonna close it out strong with another. Today we back with another amazing download, because I'm about to reveal some shit to y'all that I'm pretty sure y'all might not have known, because you know how they always trying to hide the truth from us, family. Y'all heard of Phil Snyder. Somebody like, White House? Yep, gotta make it do what it do. You hear me? Or niggas, I'm telling you, we wouldn't be starting to 4 p.m. I'll smoke one White Owl while I'm in this lecture. Once I get up off this lecture, I'm right back to the King Palms. I ran out. So it's going to be Tropical Twist White Owls right now. And I'm not promoting this shit. They got tobacco in this paper. Y'all can't stand these. Don't smoke these. I'm just a smoker. So when they get critical, I'm going to make it do what it got to do. Smash the like button, y'all. Just coming in here. I see 145 people viewing this, 109 likes. Please smash the like button. It's free. Thank you. It's free to smash the like button. Shout out to Corey Bird. Just donated $2 all the way from... Are you talking about the 2 months over Dubai? We seen that. You feel me, D. Smith? When it get critical, when it get critical, you hear me? When it get critical, man. Only the true smokers gonna feel me, you feel me? True smokers know, like, yeah, you gotta keep something for when it get critical. But yeah, though, man, I'm looking forward to this lecture, y'all. Like, I can't wait to talk about this topic, man. If you just not getting in here, you ain't missed nothing. Welcome to the university. You ain't missed nothing. You know what I'm saying? This is gonna be an awesome lecture. Like, I'm actually looking forward to talking about this subject right here, because a lot of people don't really know what happened to Malcolm and why it happened to him. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be a good lecture. Somebody just said, why I don't smoke backwoods. I can't do backwoods. I tried backwoods. They ain't for me, man. I tried them before. You know, I tried them. Like, I'm more like this, man. It's King Palm or nothing for me. But if I do gotta smoke and it ain't no King Palms, I'm a Dutch. I'm gonna give me a Dutch. But if it ain't no Dutches, I roll up a white owl. You know what I'm saying? That's how I move. I can't do them backwards. They just a little too harsh for me, man. I can't. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta remember, I don't even smoke blunts. You know what I'm saying? I keep blunts for, cause I know self. I know I like to smoke, and I run out of King Palms. And if I run out of King Palms and I have something important to do, like right now, which is teach my people, talk to y'all, I'm not finna put talking to y'all on hold to go get no goddamn King Palms. I'm either gonna not smoke at all, cause I don't have to smoke. You know what I'm saying? I just be enjoying this shit. It's just enjoying this shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's either like I'm not gonna smoke at all, or you know what I'm saying? If I do smoke, it'll be something like this. You feel me? But when I smoke, it's gonna be King Palms all the time. I'm trying to tell you, if you see me rolling anything other than a King Palm, it's because I ran out of them. And I got something I gotta do. Period. And today, I would advise y'all to roll up. Shit, the shit I'm about to drop on y'all, nigga, you need to be rolling up. Rolling up, you need to be doing some workout, you need to be eating whatever you need to do. Get your family pet and put the pet on your lap, bring the pet close to you. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you need to do to stay grounded, because, nigga, we going up today. Finna blow your mind a little bit. And what I'm finna tell you, you're not gonna find on Wikipedia, so ain't no need in you asking, can I recommend you a book? I can't recommend you a book on all this shit. You gotta understand who controls the media. Whoever controls the media controls the mind. Shout out to Linda Turner donating $3 because we understand the power of the 3, the 6, and the 9. Thank you, Reflection. All right, but you got to understand how the media work. Whoever controls the media controls the mind, Reflection. Understand that everything that I'm telling y'all is you ain't going to always be able to go Google this shit, man. Not these true downloads. You're going to have to just go within yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because all our real shit is not, you can't Google this shit. They be hiding it. You see they fact checking you. You can't even share shit on social media without them fact checking your ass. All right, so we got to get up out of that mindset of thinking if it ain't on Wikipedia or it's not on Google, then it's not valid. Some things they do have that you can go cross-reference to. Shout out to Corey Bird, donate to $2. Appreciate your Reflection. But some things you can pull up, family. Some things y'all can pull up. Other things, shout out to Sprizzle, donated $10. Appreciate your Reflection. Well, $9.99 to be exact, because we understand the power of the 3, the 6, and the 9. Thank you. Well, like, yeah, everything that we talking about, y'all, it can't be looked up. You feel me? Everything can't be looked up on Google. Because they censor these sites, y'all. You know, this they shit. Y'all feel me? So they censor it. All right. So today, when it's a real lecture, you're not supposed to do nothing but just really sit there and listen anyway. I don't know if y'all know that. Like, I call it a lecture for a reason. You really supposed to just sit here and listen to my ass talk and tell you this shit. That's what a lecture is. That's why in high school I didn't like lectures. I used to get bored. I'd be like, You know what I'm saying? But then sometimes it'll be fun, like, because I don't feel like writing shit. So I know when I get to this certain class, it's a lecture today. Cool. I ain't got to do shit but sit my ass there, let his ass talk, make him think I'm paying attention, and I'm going to do something totally different, like write a song or something. That's what I used to do in high school. Real talk. Shout out to DBF Pap Liddy, donated $3 because we understand the power of the 3, the 6, and the 9. Yeah, anybody who went to high school with me or grammar school with me will tell you, I stayed getting caught writing songs. Teacher come to the back of the class, think a nigga paying attention. I'm back there writing, wrote 25 songs, 3 albums and a mixtape. You hear me? Real life shit. That's what I used to do in school with my time. I wasn't like loud and obnoxious. So, you know, I wasn't like a troublemaker that type of way. I was low key, I'm laid back. But I definitely would be in there not paying attention on their ass, doing some totally different shit. Yeah, you don't have to donate. Provo Gates who said I can't donate. You don't have to donate. Those who donate, they donate because they want to. This information is free, and this information is our information. You know what I'm saying? Especially to those who just walking in and you seeing individuals donate. You don't have to donate to get this information. You know what I'm saying? This like the money system ending. You know what I'm saying? I be just enjoying this shit. I tell y'all the same thing. Just enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? But if you want to sit in here and listen and get enlightenment, you don't have to pay for this. The people that's donating, they donate because, hey, they want to contribute something back to the university, some form of energy. You know, it's the energy behind the donation. It's not the money. It's the energy. It's the intent. Like I keep telling you, you ain't got to donate nothing. You could donate. You could just share the live. That's a donation. You feel me? Peace, God. Run it up. We about to get going on this lecture. Shout out to Run It Up. Just donated $9.99. Appreciate you, family. We understand the power of the 3, the 6, and the 9. That's real. All right, so what I was telling y'all, yeah, and I got the tablet pulled up today, y'all. It's right here. It's right here. The tablet pulled up. We gonna lecture. We gonna talk about it because this isn't a subject that can just be talked about quickly. It's gonna take some time. Yeah, Rio, no King Palms today. See what I'm saying? King Palm, y'all need to give me an endorsement deal. My class come in here expecting to see me roll King Palms, so stuff them. Then, and I'm boosting y'all product, man. Don't even worry about it, man. Y'all know these human beings don't fuck with us. I'm telling y'all, I'm gonna get on here. I'm gonna have my own shit and be rolling. But what that is, you smoking out of a goblet? Oh, these some 9 ether wraps, nigga. These some 9 ether wraps. You hear me? Nigga, these some serious Star System raps, nigga. These come right from the series. Y'all gonna be like, damn. I'm telling, we gotta completely break away from them. I just seen fucking Jim Jones talking shit about Backwood and how they getting over on y'all. Backwood been getting over on y'all before we get the lesson going. The lesson don't start to the blunt roll because they don't let us play music no more like that. But yeah, Backwood been getting over on y'all ass. That's why I don't smoke that shit. I'm telling you, Backwood charge your ass $15.99. Give your ass 1 leaf. Then when you get the leaf, you gotta motherfucking wet it, lick it, dry it off, run it halfway across town. Gotta go all the way to Canada with the shit. Do some more shit, hit it with a blow dry, then come back. Like, then roll it. Like, that's just too much, man. Like, that's just way too much. Like, for real. Nobody got time to be doing all that shit, bro. When I seen I had to cut it with scissors, I gotta get scissors, nigga. Like, what? Nigga, what I'm in arts and crafts, nigga. I ain't on none of that. I'm just trying to smoke, fam. What I need scissors? I gotta have running faucet water. Like, damn, what if a nigga ain't got no scissors and he ain't around no water? You fucked up trying to fuck with Backwood. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, listen. Y'all feel me, man? We not doing that. We is not doing that. Give me a traditional blunt before I do all that. Y'all out there tripping, nigga. I ain't doing all that to get high, nigga. If I gotta do all that to get high, I'm cool. I'ma just stay unhigh. Fuck all that, nigga. I ain't arts and crafts around this motherfucker just to get high. Yeah. Nigga need Elmer's glue, scissors. Like, damn, just to roll, nigga. Fuck you mean I need a pair of scissors, nigga? What if they don't sell scissors in the store, nigga? A pair of scissors should come with the motherfucking pack then. Fuck is wrong with y'all out there? Niggas need scissors and shit. I remember the first time I grabbed some backwoods, y'all. We finna take off too. We finna get the lecture rolling after I like. But look, real quick before we get to going, class, because I see y'all coming in here. Nigga, first time, shout out to Kevin Maccabee, donated $3. And Aaron Varner donated $4. Peace to y'all, guys. I remember the first time I went and bought a backwoods, y'all, when that motherfucker came out, nigga, my homie knew how to roll. I'm like, you gonna teach me how to roll? He like, yeah, I got you. So I come out with that bitch. As soon as I get it, y'all, he talking about some, all right, where the scissors at? The scissors? For what we need scissors for? What we finna do? Nigga, I ain't fucked no scissors since like 6th grade, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Fuck, I'm in language arts, nigga. Fuck, I need scissors for. Where the scissors at? You got the scissors and you got the what? We need scissors. We need water. What? I got the weed. I ain't got none of that other shit you talking about. I got the weed though. Like, nigga, you tripping, fam. I'm cool. I don't even want to smoke no more. I gotta do all that. Nigga. Fuck that, nigga. I ain't even like cutting shit out like that when I was in school. I wasn't no cut. When they make you cut on the dotted line, I couldn't stand that shit. I gotta cut some shit out, nigga. You know what I'm saying? They have a whole sheet of paper in his face. Remember that you cut with them scissors? Remember when your scissors get dull and shit and your shit don't cut, nigga? Now you about to break your fingers trying to cut some shit. I never like cutting shit, nigga. I don't even want to crop a picture, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Fuck that. Anyway, though. So, blunt is roll. We ready to go. So, let me first start by saying peace to the gods and goddesses of planet Kai. Peace meaning positive energy always creates elevation. All right, let me send peace out to the elderly, those who are 60 and older that come in this university and watch us. Peace to y'all. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all and the energy. Peace to my elders, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. Just getting in here. Peace to y'all. We in here. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate y'all energy. Far as to the youth, 21 and old, 21 and younger that sitting here and y'all coming here and y'all learning, y'all are becoming enlightened by attending this mystery school. This is just a new age mystery school. I want to send peace to you as well. If this is your first time in University of Cosmic Intelligence, welcome to the university. I'll repeat, if this is your first time in the university, welcome to the university. If you don't like profanity, exit the motherfucking university now, because I'm going to use it. I'm letting you know right motherfucking now. All right? You don't like nobody to get loud. You know that make you think I'm bipolar or something. You might want to exit this motherfucker right now. Let you know I get passionate. And everybody don't like my passion. You feel me? Some people think I be angry. Some people think like they would like me more if I just toned it down just a little bit. Just a little bit. I don't know how to do that, y'all. I don't got no balance, nigga. I'm either gonna be up or I'm gonna be down. I ain't balanced with me. Either we gonna be turned up or we gonna be turned down. Either we gonna be loud or we gonna be quiet. You know what I'm saying? Either we gonna be at war or we gonna be at peace. There's no in between with me. Either it is or it isn't. You know what I'm saying? I don't hope. I don't do none of that. Because what it is, you feel me? So I just want y'all to know that right now before I get going. All right, now that that's the fuck out the way. Oh, yeah. Disclaimer real quick. If you got kids, man, and you don't want them to hear no real shit, get them out the room now. Put your earbuds in. Whatever you need to do, do it now. I don't want nobody kids watching me and you talking about I'm misleading your kids because I'm finna kick this real shit and you want me to say it in a proper way that makes you feel better. Like, fuck all that. They gonna hear this real shit because when you not watching your kids, they ass is upstairs on YouTube watching everything. And when the way it is now, I'm an 80s baby. I'm 86. I'm the year crack was born. I'm crack hit. You know what I'm saying? I'm young, but I'm an OG to them though. You see what I'm saying? Nigga, when I came up, we had to stay up and watch real sex and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, you know, The Simpsons, nigga, and Beavis and Butthead was worse as it got in my generation as a kid. You feel me? I can't tell you shit about the 70s and the 60s. I ain't no 70s baby, or no 60s baby, or no 90s baby. I'm just talking about 80s, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to all y'all, though. And I'm just being real, though, you know what I'm saying? Like, nowadays, it ain't like that. They got the internet, so they getting on YouTube, and they're being exposed to everything. So if I was a parent, before we get the lecture rolling, if I was a parent, if I was y'all, because I am a parent, but if I was you all, like parents, just be honest with your kids. Sit with your kids and talk to your kids about everything, because they gods and goddesses. They the young gods and young goddesses. You get what I'm saying? So this ain't the time to be lying to your kids about shit. Not today, not where we at right now, because when you lying to your kid and you giving them the internet, what you think they doing when you not right there? They on every site, looking at everything, you feel me? And that's why I'm glad that this platform is one of the few educational platforms with true Black history and Latino history where our youth can come and hear me and hear this real shit. If they is happen to just be surfing on YouTube, you know, if they come across this channel, they gonna get the real drop. You know what I'm saying? All right, so today, man, we talking about Malcolm X and the true reason he was killed. And a lot of people don't know that. A lot of us don't understand the true reason Malcolm was killed. So, you know, what I want to do today is I want to take some time to just get to know who he was real quick. Because a lot of us ain't never read shit about Malcolm X. Let's just be real with ourselves. Only thing we know about Malcolm X, real talk, is the little shit they told us in school, and it's not much. All right, I told y'all I got it pulled up today, baby. All right, so only thing we know about Malcolm X, y'all, there you go right there. It's the little bit that they told us in school. You feel me? Y'all with me out there? Oh yeah, we finna get rolling. I told y'all I got the iPad pulled up on y'all ass. I'm back on my bullshit today. You know, the iPad come out, niggas finna get intense. Alright? Hold on, I definitely should have threw my spectacles on y'all ass. Yeah, let's get the lights up. 286 people, y'all hit the like button, smash the like, because we need to hear this. And when y'all smash the like button, that makes YouTube recommend it to more people. Y'all hear me? So, you know, before we get going real deep, let me start by saying happy transcendence to Brother Malcolm. Because, you know, he didn't die. We know him, Martin Luther King, Che Guevara, Fidel Castro. I mean, we could just name a million people that then transcended the realm. We know that souls don't die. We are soul and spirit. So remember that the soul never dies. All right, keep smashing that like button, y'all. It's 200, it's done to 300 people in here. Should be 300 likes. You know what I'm saying? Smash the like button if you ain't hit it yet. I know you probably just coming in here to get the drop real quick. Or even if you just peeking in here real quick to peek, it's all good. Just smash the like button. That's all I'm asking. All right, so Brother Malcolm, he transcended his avatar in February 1965. But I think we need to take a closer look at his life. Because, see, for us to really figure out why was he killed, like why did the Nation of Islam attack him? You know what I'm saying? And why was it made to look like it was just the nation? Like when it was all said and done, when you go back and look at Malcolm X's life, and we're gonna pull up Wikipedia for this. We're gonna see what Wikipedia is saying about Malcolm X. You feel me? And then I'm gonna give y'all the real spiel, but we gonna run down it. You know what I'm saying? We gonna run down it a little bit. Because it's still to this day, you know, it's so many celebrities, and he was an activist, but he still would be considered a celebrity, right? It's so many of our people that's been on the front line that were even activists like him that have cases that was never really solved. Like, I don't know if you know, like Malcolm X assassination was never really solved. Like, you had 3 people that was arrested for it. Only one of the people that was arrested for the killing of Malcolm X actually said that he admitted that he did it. And then he said that the other 2 individuals that was arrested with him had nothing to do with it. And we gonna pull it up. We're gonna look at it, but I'm gonna talk about it a little bit first. So he basically said that the other, okay, so when Malcolm X was killed, right? All right, now you got two mindsets. You got the people that just see Malcolm X being killed as he was killed by the Nation of Islam, right? And then you got other people that see Malcolm X being killed like, okay, well, he was killed by the government, and they made it look like it was the Nation of Islam. Okay, so Malcolm X, to the individual with that mindset that feels like Malcolm X was killed because he was exposing the Nation of Islam and it was the Nation of Islam, you would be right. And to the individual that's also sitting there thinking like, well, nah, they made it look like it was the Nation of Islam, but it was the FBI that killed him. You still right. You still right. Both answers is right, and I'm going to tell you why. And I'm going to show you why. Because, see, Malcolm X found out about these black extraterrestrials. See what I'm saying? And his whole life has been painted to make it seem like he was killed by the Nation of Islam, or at the worst, the FBI, which was his second enemy, used the Nation of Islam to kill him. But it's way deeper than that. It's way deeper than that. Okay? So before we get going, we got to look at a few things about him that we must know. Okay? So let's start with the basics. Okay, Malcolm X, born Malcolm Little, May 19th, 1925, Omaha, Nebraska. Died, transcended his avatar, February 21st, 1965, age 39. Cause of death, assassination, gunshot wounds, rest in place, Ferncliff Cemetery. Organization, Nation of Islam, Muslim Mosque, Inc., Organization of Afro-American Unity. Movement, Black Nationalism, Pan-Africanism. Spouse, Betty Shabazz, 1958. Children, 6. All right? Pay attention to these numbers, too. I'm going to show you how the elites work and how they cover things all throughout history right in front of our faces. Okay, so Malcolm X, right? They say here on Wikipedia he was an African-American Muslim minister and human rights activist who was a popular figure during the civil rights movement. He is best known for his time spent as a vocal spokesman for the Nation of Islam. All right? So, in his early years, he spent his adolescence living in a series of foster homes with relatives after his father's death and his mother's hospitalization. All right, so let's see. Let's look at his early years. Let's scroll down real quick. We're going to skim through. We're going to skim through it. Early years of Malcolm X. All right? Malcolm Little was born May 9, 1925 in Omaha, Nebraska, the fourth of 7 children of Grenada-born Louise Helen Little and Georgia-born Earl Little. That's his mom and his dad. Okay, pay attention to this. Now, his dad, Earl, was an outspoken Baptist lay speaker, and he and Louise were admirers of Pan-African activist Marcus Garvey. Okay, so Malcolm X's dad and his mother, they both were followers of the Marcus Garvey movement. Definitely for the youth in here today they don't really know nothing about Malcolm X at all. All right? His pops, now I could tell you all this verbatim, but I just want to say, I want you all to see what they saying about him first. Wikipedia, this is what they saying about Malcolm X. So this is their story. This is their history of Malcolm X, okay? So, it say Earl, which was Malcolm's dad, was a local leader of the Universal Negro Improvement Association. All right? And his wife, Louise, was the secretary and branch reporter. All right? She was the one that would send the news of what happened locally in their town to the Negro world. Now, for those of you who don't know about the Negro world, hold on, y'all. For those of you who don't know about the Negro world, we're gonna let's find out what the Negro world is. Cause see, you can't just jump over those words. Okay? People will jump over that. Okay, so let's go back. Where we at? Okay, right here. So Malcolm's mom she worked as a branch reporter. You see it? As a branch reporter sending news of local UNIA activities to the Negro world. Okay? Now, let's see what the Negro World was for those who don't know. It was Marcus Garvey's newspaper, but let me show you. See, there it go. Negro World, Great World Convention of Negroes. What was the Negro World? The Negro World was the newspaper of the Marcus Garvey's Universal Negro Improvement Association and African Communities League. I repeat, what was the Negro World? And this was also the first newspaper. This was the very first newspaper in the country. The entire format that you see of a newspaper, you see how it's written and titled, they stole this from the Negro World. The very first newspaper in the country, period, with that format was Marcus Garvey, Negro World. All right? But anyway, the Negro World was the newspaper of the Marcus Garvey's Universal Negro Improvement Association and African Communities League. Founded by Garvey and Amy Ashwood Garvey, which was Marcus Garvey's wife. The newspaper was published weekly in Harlem, New York, and distributed internationally, hold on, let me focus that, okay, and distributed internationally to the UNIA's chapters in more than 40 countries. So this newspaper, which was the very first in the country, they don't tell you this, all right, the Negro World was the very first newspaper in the country, and it was created by Marcus Garvey. This is another reason why they don't even talk about Marcus Garvey, all right? But Marcus Garvey, way back in the 1920s, all right, Marcus Garvey had this Negro World newspaper, Look at it. July 31st. That's an article from July 31st. July 31st, 1920. In July 31st, 1920, this black man, this god, Marcus Garvey, had his paper, The Negro World, being circulated weekly. Well, he had it going into almost 40 different countries. All right? This Marcus Garvey newspaper, The Negro World. And he had it distributed weekly. And at its peak, The Negro World reached a circulation of 200,000 people a week. All right? And this was way back in 1920. This is the first paper, newspaper, if y'all didn't know, because this is not about Marcus Garvey. But if you didn't know, the first newspaper format that was ever that ever came in this country was us. Like, everything come from us. Everything was us first. It was Marcus Garvey. He had The Negro World. That was way back in the 1905, 1910. He had newspapers circulating, kicking this real shit. But see, back then, Marcus Garvey, he was trying to get everybody to go back to Africa. He had the Back to Africa movement. But let's keep it going, though. Let's stay focused. So now we know what The Negro World is. That was Marcus Garvey's newspaper, and it was actually the first newspaper in the country. So we just found out something else if we didn't know that. The first newspaper ever came from us. All right? So check it out. Let's keep it going. So Malcolm X's mom and dad, Malcolm X's dad was a preacher. It's imperative that y'all remember this. All right? Take it in deeper, because they got books out. They got a book out called The Autobiography of Malcolm X and many more books. And they give you a little game in there, but they lying about a lot of shit. And then far as in the movie they got with Denzel Washington, they still ain't depicting, you know, the real what was really going on with Malcolm. Like, they like sugarcoating it. So today we finna unveil. We're unveiling today. We unveiling what we're tying knots today. You know what I'm saying? And we're just asking questions for more friends once we get there. All right? So check it out. So Malcolm X's mom basically worked as a branch reporter. And she would, and things that happened in their town locally, she would like write it out and send it to the Negro World. And they would print it up in the Negro World. All right? So basically back then what you had was you had this connection of us. Let me flip the camera real quick. So basically back then what you had was, as early as the 1900s, you had us, guys and goddesses, although we had fell from our highest frequency, we had already started to master and manipulate this system, this basic system. We had already started to master it. You get what I'm saying? Because we was making newspapers. We was making newspapers and we was using their language to communicate. So this is a way that back then how a lot of our people, a lot of African Americans, Latin Americans, back then would actually stay in communication about what was really going on, because we had these papers we were circulating and these pamphlets that we were circulating, and you had people working in different towns, like, and we was all on one accord back then. So you had people in Philly, Virginia, Ohio, Illinois, California, Delaware, Georgia, everywhere. Like, we was connected. Like, as you can see, Malcolm X's mom, they did their part in the war that we had going on, still us versus them, by Malcolm X's dad was the preacher, and Malcolm X's mom actually was a reporter for this Negro World newspaper, where she would report all the local news in her town. This is how the newspaper was able to get the head up on what was going on in everybody's town and print these stories up. And this same format is used to this day by the common media. You know what I'm saying? Like Marcus Garvey, and we created the first form of media, far as in communication, you know, far as with using their own print. And they stole it, of course, you know. But we're going to keep going. We're going to keep going. You know, they stole everything else. So let's stay focused, though. All right, so now we know what Malcolm X's mom and his dad was doing. All right. It says she was sending news of local UNIA activities to the Negro World. They inculcated self-reliance and black pride in their children. Malcolm X later said that white violence killed 4 of his father's brothers. Okay, it's imperative that you remember that, so you can understand that this was already in Malcolm's DEA and RNA, this rebellious spirit, all right? And that these people, if you want to call them the Nation of Islam or FBI, you know, who we know who runs the FBI, right? We know who they answer to, okay? But let's keep going. So, all right, because of KKK threats, Earl, which is Malcolm's dad, was said to be spreading trouble, and the family relocated to Milwaukee in 1926. And shortly thereafter, they moved to Lansing, Michigan. There, the family was frequently harassed by the Black Legion. All right, so let's see who the Black Legion is. All this is important that you know this real quick about Malcolm before we get to talking about these black extraterrestrials. And this is our version. You know what I'm saying? Not that old watered down Hollywood version of Malcolm X. No, we getting the real version today. The real spiel. All right? So check the game. Now, the Black Legion, here they go. Black Legion's uniform and weapons posed by policemen after arrest. All right, let's find out why they were important. And they still exist today, just like the KKK do. Okay, the Black Legion, who were they? The Black Legion was a white supremacist terrorist organization active in the Midwestern United States during the Great Depression of the 1930s. All right, so for everybody living in the Midwest, it's imperative that y'all get a hold of the Black Legion because this is the KKK sect that still runs the Midwest, and they hide behind the names of governors and politicians and aldermen and senators and all this shit today. But these are the people still running shit in the Midwest because they are all part of the same sect. They just another form of the KKK. They call themselves the Black Legion, but these are the ones that operate and they the ones that run the Midwest. Okay? It's broken up into a set, 4 sets for every region in the country. All right, pay attention. This is all important that you know this information. All right, it's split off from the KKK. They still KKK though, same people. According to historian Rick Perlstein, the FBI estimated its membership at 135,000, including a large number of public officials, possibly including Detroit's police chief. Okay, pay attention. In 1936, the group was suspected of having killed as many as 50 people. All right, let's keep going down, though. Let's keep going down, though. Hold on. About the Black Legion and why it's important that you know who they is. Check this out. All right. So they background. In 1915, this the Black Legion. All right. Inspired a revival in 1915. The release of D.W. Griffith's film The Birth of a Nation inspired a revival of the KKK in Atlanta, Georgia. All right. This is what makes Stone. That's when they started carving all the bullshit in Stone Mountain. All right, because Stone Mountain was the first birthplace, was the birthplace of the KKK when they reignited in 1915. But check this out, as far as the Black Legion, gradually the new Klan, often appealing to migrants to cities as a fraternal order, established new chapters nationwide, particularly in urban areas. This is where the Black Legion comes in at, including the rapidly changing cities of the industrial Midwest. All right. Throughout the 1920s, cities such as Detroit, Cleveland, and Indianapolis were the centers of an increase in Klan membership and activity in local chapters. So see, for all of y'all living like in Chicago, my home city, and like Detroit, Cleveland, Indianapolis, all up in the Midwest, a lot of y'all think that the KKK does not exist and it has no stronghold. You feel me? But you're not understanding that they do. They go by a different name in the Midwest, though. They call themselves the Black Legion, and they also don't call themselves the Black Legion anymore. They hide behind the names of all your politicians. And they always did, though. They always did, though. They always did, though. So, show you this real quick. How they work. A lot of these killings and things that's happening. The reason this is important right now is because a lot of these killings that's happening in Chicago, Detroit, Indianapolis, in the Midwest, right? Specifically, like all these street killings. I be telling y'all that they got the police riding around. They have militia groups. They call them mercenary groups. And these mercenary groups be consisted of these police officers that ride around dressed up as gangs, dressed up as people with hoodies and thugs, and they go around shooting people. All right, and I told you to check the headshot rate on these killings in Chicago and these cities. Check out how many people getting headshots. Like, don't just pay attention to how that people dying. Pay attention to the way they dying. All right, and these mercenary groups, they originate from these groups from back in the day, like the Black Legion. They still active. All right? They still active. And they want to tell you right here that they all, you know, were sentenced to prison. It say, based on the testimony in the trial of the Pools killers, Day and Dean, Wayne County prosecutor Duncan McCrae conducted a widespread investigation and prosecuted another 37 men suspected of Legion murders and assaults. But that's a lie, though. That's to throw you off. That's to throw you clean off. The majority of these people, look at this. Look at this. Check this out. Members, check this out. Let me show you. Majority of your Black Legion members are police officers. This is what I'm trying. This is why this is important. Members were also indicted for a 1933 conspiracy to murder Arthur Kinsley, a Highland Park publisher of a community paper who was a candidate for mayor in 1934. They had planned to shoot him in 1933 because he ran against Markland, a Legionnaire politician. All right? Peep game. 16 Black Legion members were indicted in Kinsley's case, including 2 factory policemen, a police officer, and several Highland Park city employees. All right? So when you looking into the Legion, right? When you look into the Black Legion, what you'll notice about this sect of the KKK is majority of their members are police officers, or they hold some high rank in politics. Regular human beings, regular white human beings, everyday citizens. And even today, majority of your police officers are still Black Legion. This is why this is important. All right. So even back then, these the people that killed Malcolm X's daddy, the Black Legion, right? But I'm glad that they popped up, because that's good information to know right now. You still need to know that all these killings is being done by these different sects of the KKK that's happening in your everyday society to keep these rates and these numbers looking a certain way. That's why I say notice that majority of these killings that be going on, it be headshots. All right, it be a lot of headshots. It be a lot of kill zone shots, chest shots, head shots, face shots, places where only highly trained marksmen would know to hit you at. You know what I'm saying? You know, you see media stories coming out about, you know, people gunning people down on the E-way and shit like that. Like, come on now. There ain't no everyday citizen doing that. Ain't no regular person with a gun doing that. All right? So, but let's stay focused though. Let's stay focused though. It's gonna get deeper. Now, when Malcolm X was 6, his father died in what has been officially ruled a streetcar accident, though his mother Louise believed Earl had been murdered by the Black Legion. So Malcolm's mom already knew that they had killed her husband, because Malcolm's dad was an outspoken activist against the Black Legion in the Midwest. And they both was working under, and they both was a part of the Marcus Garvey Back to Africa movement. So they were activists in the community. You get what I'm saying? So that wasn't hard to put 2 and 2 together. All right? Now, they let you know right here that as a child, that kind of bothered Malcolm. As an adult, he expressed conflicting beliefs on the question of who really killed his father. All right? Now, in 1937, Malcolm's mom started dating. The man she was dating got her pregnant, and then he left her. She ended up having a nervous breakdown in 1938, and they say she was sent to Kalamazoo State Hospital. All right? His mom was sent to Kalamazoo State Hospital. Malcolm and his siblings, says right here, Malcolm and his siblings secured her release 24 years later. All right? So, real quick, they say he went to West Junior High School in Lansing and then went to Mason High School in Mason, Michigan, but left high school in 1941 before graduating. They say he excelled in high school, but he dropped out of high school after a human being told him that practicing law was no realistic goal for a nigger. See it right there? All right, let's stay focused. All right, so from 14 to 21 is pretty much when Malcolm went to the streets. For those of you who've heard his story, we pretty much, it's a well-known fact that Malcolm was in the streets. He was a gangster. All right, it's a well-known fact that Malcolm was a gangster. He was in the streets, you know, at one point in time in his life. That was basically from the age of 14 to 21. He was vibrating in his lower self. See, we all go through this. Although he came here as a soul and a spirit on a pristine mission, he still was in his lower self. He had to find himself again. We all have to go through that. All right, and that's important too, that you pay attention to that too. Pay attention to that part of his story as well, because all this is going to connect to these black extraterrestrials in this lecture today. All right, so we just going over a quick synopsis of, you know, his background. All right, so they say after a short time in Flint, Michigan, he moved to New York in Harlem, 1943, where he found employment on the New Haven Railroad and engaged in drug dealing, gambling, racketeering, robbery, and pimping. According to the recent biographies, Malcolm also occasionally had sex with other men, usually for money, though this conjecture has been disputed by those who knew him. Now, I want y'all to note how Wikipedia bitch ass would slide some shit in there like that. You see what I'm saying? Now, no, I've already read all this bullshit. Like, I already know how they talk in Wikipedia, but I want y'all to see this though. All right, now, we ain't even made it through his to the point where he didn't caught his glow yet, and they already telling you right here. They still ain't telling you the truth about him yet, right? But they've already slid some slander in there. This is how they work. They kill and tarnish your image any way they can. All right. According to recent biographies, we know who write books. Men write books. All right. Who control the narrative? Down here, Satan been controlling the narrative. He controls the media. This is what? Wikipedia.org. We don't own this shit. They do. So, you know, pay attention to that. All right? Pay attention to everything. We going through all this for a reason right now. This is also why I be telling a lot of y'all when y'all be asking me, hey, where can I get a book on this and that? I keep telling you, all information comes from within. True enlightenment comes from within. It's from within you. That's why it's enlightenment. Okay? It comes from in you. That's why it's called enlightenment. All I can do or another person can do is make you remember what your soul already know. Okay? It's called enlightenment. Let me enlighten you. I mean, you have to go in. It's in here. It's not out there. It's in here. Okay? So, anytime we have to go outside of self and go to a source outside of self that's controlled by our oppressors, you can never expect the 100% truth. All right? They already not telling you the real about the man, but before you even get all the way through God drawing, they already threw some slander in there under his name. You feel me? They just made him a part of their agenda. You feel me? That's what they do. But we gonna keep going though. All right, so he befriended John Elroy Sanford, a fellow dishwasher at Jimmy's Chicken Shack in Harlem. That shit don't even matter. Let's get down to it. This one he was in prison. All right, he was in prison. This one he started reaching out to Elijah Muhammad after he met John Bembry. So let's read about it. When Malcolm was in prison, he met fellow convict John Bembry, a self-educated man he would later describe as the first man I had ever seen command total respect with words. Okay? Under Bembry's influence, Malcolm developed a voracious appetite for reading. Okay, so in jail is where they saying that he fell in love with reading that. Let's keep going. At this time, several of his siblings wrote to him about the Nation of Islam, a relatively new religious movement preaching black self-reliance and ultimately the return of the African diaspora to Africa, where they would be free from white American and European domination. At first, Malcolm, he showed scant interest at first, but after his brother Reginald wrote in 1948, Malcolm, don't eat any more pork and don't smoke any more cigarettes. I'll show you how to get out of prison. He quit smoking and began to refuse pork. After a visit in which Reginald described the group's teachings, including the belief that white people are devils, Malcolm concluded that every relationship he had with whites had been tainted by dishonesty, injustice, greed, and hatred. Malcolm, whose hostility to religion had earned him the prison nickname Satan, became receptive to the message of the Nation of Islam. All right, so in jail, they telling you that they basically start calling him Satan because he wasn't believing their version of the Bible. All right, so pay attention. In late 1948, Malcolm wrote to Elijah Muhammad, the leader of the Nation of Islam.
Muhammad advised him to renounce his past, humbly bow in prayer to God, and promise never to engage in a destructive behavior again. Though he later recalled the inner struggle he had before bending his knees to pray, Malcolm soon became a member of the Nation of Islam, maintaining a regular correspondence with Muhammad. All right, let's keep reading about Malcolm. In 1950, the FBI opened the file on Malcolm. Pay attention, y'all. This is how they do. Now, in 1950, the FBI opened the file on Malcolm after he wrote a letter from prison to President Truman expressing opposition to the Korean War and declaring himself a communist. Okay? Malcolm wrote President Truman, hey, he a fool for that one though. But yeah, though. So yeah, Malcolm basically sent the president a letter from jail and shit. You know what I'm saying? And he was letting him know he was against the Korean War. And and he was just standing against them in general. And of course, they didn't like it, so they opened the file on him. Now, when they open the file on you, you won't know it. That means they just started to look into you and started to pay a little more attention to you, and they started to keep up with you and try to see what you into. So that's what they mean when they say they opened the file on him in 1950. Keep in mind, Malcolm got killed in 1965. 1965 is when he transcended this realm. They opened up the file on him in 1950. Keep that date in your mind. Okay, so the FBI opened the file on Malcolm after he wrote a letter from prison to President Truman expressing opposition to the Korean War and declaring himself a communist. That year, he also began signing his name Malcolm X. Muhammad instructed his followers to leave their family names behind when they joined the nation and use an X instead. When the time was right, after they had proven their sincerity, he said, he would reveal the Muslim's original name. So basically the way the nation was ran was like when you was coming into the Nation of Islam as a new member. So when you was coming into the Nation of Islam as a new member, basically they would make you drop your name and they would give you your name down the road after you've done certain things to earn your name. All right, after you've proven certain things to them. Keep that in your mind too. Just keep that in your mind, reflection. Keep that in your mind. Keep that in your mind. All right? Now, Muhammad instructed his followers to leave their family names behind when they joined the Nation of Islam and use X instead. When the time was right, after they had proven their sincerity, he said, he would reveal the Muslims' original name. All right? How the fuck was Muhammad revealing niggas' names to them when that wasn't even his place in the cosmos? Each soul is to name themselves. Each soul is to find out who they are. Nobody can tell you who you are. All right? Only you can tell you who you are. Remember, I taught y'all about a name. Remember that? A name and the power of it and the signature. And what is a signature? A signature means to sign your nature. So your name is your nature. Okay, so this is why no one is supposed to be able to name you. Now, if your physical mom, if your earth mom or dad names you, then that's different because they probably was under light code lockdown, and when you came out, they just named you not knowing. And if they wasn't under light code lockdown, then they named you with a purpose. But anywhere it go, they can put a name on you because they took part in helping your soul come here. All right, but far as in Muhammad, I want y'all to notice something. Elijah Muhammad had nothing to do with Malcolm's avatar coming here. Okay, so Elijah Muhammad should have been none of these people that joined the nation. So he was in no position to tell nobody who they were. That's just like me telling all y'all, it's 7,000 of y'all that subscribe to this university on this YouTube channel. That's like me telling y'all, I'ma name y'all once y'all sign up to my site. Drop all y'all names. Everybody drop y'all motherfucking name. And then when y'all sign up to subscribe, I'll rename you motherfuckers and let y'all know what y'all shit is after y'all subscribe. You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't work like that. But keep that in your mind too. I want y'all to pay attention to all this. All of this. All of this. Pay attention to this, okay? So, now, read this. What it say? Okay, we right here. Okay, so they talking about a Malcolm X autobiography. In his autobiography, Malcolm X explained that the X symbolized the true African family name that he could never know. These are supposed to be Malcolm X's words right here. Quoted, "For me, my ex replaced the white slave master name of Little, which some blue-eyed devil named Little had imposed upon my paternal forebears." That's what Malcolm said. All right. So these are Malcolm's words. All right. That's what they're telling you. And keep in mind that Malcolm X was dead when they finished his autobiography. He wasn't alive when they finished his autobiography. Keep that in mind too. All right. So real quick, early ministry. He started off after parole in 1952. After he got out of jail, he visited Elijah in the Shire. June 1953, he was named the assistant minister of the nation's Temple No. 1 in Detroit. Later that year, so Malcolm's first preaching gig was in Detroit after he went to Chicago and checked in with Elijah Muhammad. Elijah Muhammad basically gave his ass a slot. Let me break it down for the streets, because I know the hood in here. So look, it's just like a gang, y'all. I told you, religion just like gangs. So when Malcolm went and checked in with the gang chief Elijah Muhammad at headquarters in Chicago, the gang chief Elijah Muhammad gave Malcolm X a slot. He gave him the temple in Detroit. All right. Now, later that year, Malcolm established Temple No. 11 in Boston. Then in March 1954, he expanded Temple No. 12 in Philadelphia. All right. And then 2 months later, he was selected to lead Temple No. 7 in Harlem, where he rapidly expanded his membership. So pay attention to how Malcolm X was really growing the nation. Okay, now 3 years later, after opening a file on him, in 1953, the FBI began surveillance of him, turning its attention from Malcolm X's possible communist associations to his rapid ascent in the Nation of Islam. Pay attention to that, family, and share the live 3 times too, because we understand the power of the 3, the 6, and the 9. All right? But yeah, in 1953, the FBI began surveillance of him, turning its attention from Malcolm X's possible communist associations to his rapid ascent in the Nation of Islam. All right? So they basically saying at first they thought Malcolm was a communist because of the letter he wrote to them telling them that he was a communist. So then they telling you in 1953, they started watching him more because they realized that he actually wasn't a communist, but that he had a role in helping the Nation of Islam. All right, now, right now they got you still believing the Nation of Islam was a threat to the FBI. But we're going to find out right here today how the Nation of Islam was working with the FBI the whole time. Stay focused. Stay focused. All is being revealed. All right? So, let's go up. Oh, wait. What was right here? Was there anything? No, so we just found out the FBI started putting him under surveillance in 53. What else happened? Nothing else. In 55, he was just expanding more temples, even ones down in Hartford, Connecticut, even in Atlanta. Besides his skill as a speaker, Malcolm had an impressive physical presence. He stood 6'3" and weighed about 180 pounds. One writer described him as powerfully built and another as mesmerizingly handsome and always spotlessly well-groomed. Okay? So, let's keep going. He married Betty Sanders in 1955, who we all know as the legendary Betty Shabazz. Let's keep going. You know, you can read more for yourself. I want to get down to the nitty gritty. Okay, so let's look at the teachers while he was with the nations. So these are Malcolm X's teachers while he was with the nation. Okay. From his adoption of the nation in 1952 until he broke with it in 1964. So, from 1952, keep these dates in your mind, class. It's all finna make sense later. From 1952 until 1964, these were Malcolm X teachers when he was with the nation. All right, let's read them off. That black people are the original people of the world. That was a fact. That white people are devils. That's a fact. They are Satan's seeds. That's still a fact. That blacks are superior to whites. That's a fact. That the demise of the white race is imminent if they do not change their ways and admit the truth. That is another fact. All right? Now, I damn near feel like them my teachers right there, and I ain't even with the nation. Well, look, though. So let's keep reading. Many whites and some blacks were alarmed by Malcolm X and the statements he made during this period. I can relate to that. I go through a lot of that right now. I can relate to that. Let's keep reading. He and the Nation of Islam were described as hate mongers, black supremacists, racists, violence seekers, segregationists, and a threat to improve race relations. He was accused of being anti-Semitic. They accused me of being anti-Semitic too, y'all. Any of us that speak out against the system is deemed anti-Semitic. So for you to know what anti-Semitic is, you need to know what a Semite is. Semites are basically human beings. Okay? So let's read anti-Semiticism real quick so you can know what anti-Semitic is. We ain't gonna just jump over that word for the people in the back. This is a university, so we are in here to learn and enlighten. We ain't in here to learn, we are in here to enlighten ourselves. It's the difference. Anti-Semitism in the United States has existed for centuries. In the United States, most Jewish community relations agencies distinguish between anti-Semitism, which is measured in terms of attitudes and behaviors, and the security and status of American Jews, which are measured by specific incidents. FBI data shows that Jews were the most likely group to be targeted for religiously motivated hate crimes in every year since 1991. All right, so the Semites are the American Jews. Okay? Now, Malcolm X was deemed, hold on, he was accused of what? Being anti-Semitic. And I keep telling you, hold on, we keep going, because we learning lessons, y'all. Real downloads. This for all my black people that think you are a Hebrew Israelite. And I keep telling you, we are not Hebrew Israelites. Nothing is Hebrew about us. Hebrew is a Greek terminology. It comes from the Greeks. We are before the Greeks. The Greeks are white people, human beings. Okay? So, you're not a Hebrew, you're not a Jew. Okay? You got people that say we are the original Jews. But I don't see nobody with carbon in their skin owning anything. All right? You don't. And if you had carbon in your skin and you were considered a Hebrew Israelite or Jewish or any of that, all right? They wouldn't have deemed him anti-Semitic. Who are the Semites? The Jews. The human beings. The true Hebrews. And when you speak out against them, you are deemed anti-Semitic. Somebody said they think they're Hebrew. Look, if you still think you're a Hebrew, brother, that's cool with you. That's cool. You just cool, guy. You can think what you want to think about yourself. All right? You can think what you want to think about yourself. But Hebrew is a Greek word. Okay, so if you Hebrew, that means you got melanin in your skin. So you're right, you might be Hebrew. But if you got carbon in your skin, carbon, sun gods, photon energy, dark matter energy beings, non-ether being, your ass ain't no motherfucking Hebrew. Period. Ain't no Hebrew, fam. All right, let's stay focused, class. All right, so flip the camera around. Flip the camera around. In 1961, Malcolm X spoke at an NOI rally alongside George Lincoln Rockwell, the head of the American Nazi Party. Rockwell claimed that there was overlap between black nationalism and white supremacy. One of the goals of the civil rights movement was to end disenfranchisement. Now, I want y'all to see this bullshit right here. One of the goals of the civil rights movement was to end the disenfranchisement. Understand that Malcolm spoke out against the civil rights movement. Remember, look, pay attention. One of the goals of the civil rights movement was to end disenfranchisement of African Americans, but the Nation of Islam forbade its members from participating and voting in other aspects of the political process. Okay, so one thing about the Nation of Islam with it was they were completely against the political process because they understood that politics will not help any of us over here at all. All right, so the reason a lot of y'all might not understand why Malcolm X was speaking against Martin Luther King, he was basically calling him a sellout. Look right here. The NAACP and other civil rights organizations denounced him. All right? So the NAACP denounced Malcolm X. I want y'all to see that. The NAACP denounced Malcolm X. And other civil rights organizations denounced him. And the Nation of Islam is irresponsible extremists whose views did not represent the common interests of African Americans. Keep in mind, there go that word, y'all. African Americans. We know we not that though. Don't let none of these words go over y'all head, y'all. The truth coming out today. All right? Pay attention to all these words being used and everything. All right. Malcolm X was equally critical of the civil rights movement. He called Martin Luther King Jr. a chump and said other civil rights leaders were stooges of the white establishment. See, when you speak like this, they don't like you. That's why they don't like me. I speak just like this. I'm like the new age Malcolm to them. They can't take me, y'all. The real university love me, but I'm talking about the establishment can't take me, y'all. I'm too straight to the point. But I want y'all to see something. Why? Right? Now, I've been telling y'all, because you got to understand what Malcolm really represented and stood for. Right? So you can understand why because today the truth is coming out about why he was really killed. They never talk about this shit ever, nigga. They don't. They don't even talk about why they killed him and why he was really killed and what he was really finna expose. Pete, that he spoke out against the civil rights movement. Now they teach you in school that the civil rights movement was everything, don't they? But what was one of the main things that the civil rights movement was trying to do? Let's flip the camera around. It's right there. One of the main goals of the civil rights movement was to end disenfranchisement. So let's click on it for those who don't know. What is disenfranchisement? I'll read it now. In the United States, especially in the southern states, was based on a series of laws, new constitutions and practices in the South that were deliberately used to prevent black citizens from registering to vote. I ain't even got to read the rest of that shit. If you want to read more, it's called Disenfranchisement After the Reconstruction Era. Now, how did we get here? Hold on, how did we get here? Let's go back and look. Click back. How did we get here? Because we exposing the civil rights movement and Malcolm X, how it was really Malcolm X versus everybody. The nation was against Malcolm. Farrakhan was against Malcolm. Elijah Muhammad was against Malcolm. Martin Luther King was against Malcolm. The whole civil rights movement was against Malcolm. All right? That's what y'all don't know. They try to make it seem like he was with the nation. The nation wasn't fucking with Malcolm. They only fucked with him from 1952 to like 1960. They started pulling away from him. All right? And this is what we showing right here. So, understand, let's look at it again. One of the main goals of the civil rights movement was to end disenfranchisement of African Americans. Okay, so what is disenfranchisement? And when we click on it, it tells you right here what disenfranchisement was. So the civil rights movement was all about trying to get you to have rights to fucking vote. That's all it was about. Disenfranchisement after the Reconstruction era in the United States, especially in southern states, was based on a series of laws, new constitutions, and practices in the South that were deliberately used to prevent, keyword, prevent, black citizens from registering to vote and voting. Okay, and I ain't gotta read no more after that, because you know what disenfranchisement is. So now, when it says right here to you, hold on, let me flip camera around. When they saying right here to you that one of the main goals of the civil rights movement was to end disenfranchisement of African Americans, they basically telling you that one of the main goals of the movement was just to give you the right to vote. The vote in a political system that has never been on your side, which is why they forbade its members from participating in voting in other aspects of the political process. All right? Then the NAACP, hold on. This the same NAACP that motherfuckers think is on our side, denounced Malcolm X. They denounced him for that, for trying to tell people not to partake in the political process because we are not a part of this country. So you got to understand that the civil rights movement was a fucking hoax, a joke, bullshit, made to look like black people did something for once in life when ain't shit happened. Because the whole movement was based around trying to end disenfranchisement. Right? And Malcolm was trying to show y'all a bigger picture. We gonna see the picture he was trying to paint. Let's keep going, because they're gonna kind of tell on themselves in here. All right? Malcolm X was equally critical of the civil rights movement. He called Martin Luther King Jr. a chump, but see, that's why he was calling him that. That's why he was calling all them civil rights leaders back then. See what I'm saying? Hosea Williams, all them, he was calling they ass, look, stooges of the white establishment. Look, he called the 1963 March on Washington the farce on Washington, and said he did not know why so many black people were excited about a demonstration run by whites in front of a statue of a president who has been dead for 100 years and who didn't like us when he was alive. That's what Malcolm X said. See what I'm saying? That's what Malcolm said when they did their little march that year in 1963 on Washington. See what I'm saying? Do y'all remember the March on Washington? That's a historic march, ain't it? Y'all remember this march? This is the March on Washington in 1963. Let me tell you, let's read about it. The March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom, also known as simply the March on Washington or the Great March on Washington, was held in Washington, D.C. on Wednesday, August 28th, 1963. What was the purpose of the march? The purpose of the march was to advocate for the civil and economic rights of African Americans. At the march, final speaker was Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., standing in front of the Lincoln Memorial, delivered his historic I Have a Dream speech in which he called for an end to racism. Okay, so the famous I Have a Dream speech was given. That was the March on Washington. When that famous speech was given, the Dr. King speech was did at the 1963 March on Washington. Keep in mind, this was 2 years before they killed Malcolm. All right. Yeah, this video gonna be saved, Dolo De Niro. YouTube save them. They gonna save it. All right. So now, after that March on Washington and Martin Luther King famous speech, Malcolm X's response to that was, he did not know why so many black people were so excited about a demonstration run by whites in front of a statue of a president who has been dead for 100 years and who didn't like us when he was alive. That's real shit. That's real shit. That's real shit, man. See what I'm saying? That's real shit. You see how he was the only one said that though? Nobody else saw that though. So let's get a picture of who he was. All right? Let's look how he influenced the nation. Malcolm X is widely regarded as the second most influential leader of the Nation of Islam after Elijah Muhammad. He was largely credited with the group's dramatic increase in memberships between the early 1950s and early 1960s. Look, he made the group grow from 500 to 25,000 by one estimate, from 1,200 to 50,000 or 75,000 members. He also, Malcolm X, inspired the boxer Cassius Clay to join the nation, and the two became close. In January 1964, Clay brought Malcolm X and his family to Miami to watch him train for the fight against Sonny Liston. When Malcolm X left the Nation of Islam, he tried to convince Clay, who had just been renamed Muhammad Ali by Elijah Muhammad, to join him in converting to Sunni Islam, but Clay instead broke ties with him, later describing the break as one of his greatest regrets. So, you know, Ali switched up on Malcolm X too. When Malcolm X left the Nation of Islam, Ali ain't go with Malcolm. He stayed with Elijah Muhammad. They tell you right there. When Malcolm X left the Nation of Islam, he tried to convince Clay, known as Muhammad Ali. This the same Clay he inspired to join the nation to begin with. Let's not forget that, y'all. Let's not forget he brought Muhammad Ali ass into the nation. But when Malcolm X left the Nation of Islam and tried to convince Clay to leave with him, Clay didn't leave because he had just been renamed Muhammad Ali by Elijah Muhammad. You see what I'm saying? He like, man, nah, I just got my title. I just got my name. My daddy just gave me a nickname. I love my nickname more than my loyalty to you, who brought me into this shit. Pay attention. You know what I'm saying? Malcolm X also mentored and guided Louis X, also known as Louis Farrakhan. There go Farrakhan, snake ass. Here comes the snake shit from Farrakhan. Malcolm X mentored and guided Louis X, later known as Louis Farrakhan, who eventually became the leader of the Nation of Islam. Would you look at that? Doesn't surprise me. The man that was mentored by Malcolm X becomes the leader of the Nation of Islam. It didn't go through the same fate that Malcolm did. In no form, shape, or way. Farrakhan never had a black eye, man. You hear me? That man face been smooth as pie all my whole 34. You hear me? He ain't never had a fist fight with a nigga. You know what I'm saying? Real shit. Malcolm X mentored and guided Louis X, later known as Louis the Snake Farrakhan, I like to call him, who eventually became the leader of the Nation of Islam. All right? Malcolm X also served as mentor and confidant to Elijah Muhammad's son, Wallace D. Muhammad. This is the son who told Malcolm about his skepticism towards his father's unorthodox approach to Islam. Wallace Muhammad was excommunicated from the Nation of Islam several times, although he was eventually readmitted. So, now, Wallace D. Muhammad is the one that came to Malcolm and told him about what the fuck was going on. Now, check this. Now we finna look at all the reasons that started making Malcolm X even want to lead a Nation of Islam. We finna talk about it. Cause see, look. They like to make it seem like when Malcolm X was killed, that it was just strictly because he fell out with Elijah Muhammad in the nation, but they don't really dive into the depths, and they just make it seem like it's because he found out about the fact that Elijah Muhammad was using the teachings in the nation to have sex with and manipulate the younger goddesses in the Nation of Islam. But it's way deeper than that. It's way deeper than that. Let's look at the 4 things. Peace to the goddess Queen Italia for donating $3. We understand the power of the 3, the 6, and the 9. Yeah, it's way deeper than that, y'all. So let's look at a few of the things that really made Malcolm X say, let me step back from the nation. Now, we already seen thus far a lot of reasons why the nation, felt how they felt. Like he did grow the nation. He grew the nation. He was an eloquent speaker. He was gifted. He was. I mean, when a person was born to do something, it showed. You know, so listening to any of Malcolm X speeches, or you know, even Martin Luther King, you know, listening to those type of individuals, it's something about their voice. It's something about the intensity and their mission and their purpose that everybody cling to. So, you know, it was definitely, you know, he had a gift. You know, he had a gift to magnetize and pull people to him. Elijah Muhammad ain't had that same gift. But Malcolm did though. Okay, so we seen what Malcolm did to that could arouse jealousy, you know, because he was he was really growing the nation. But let's look at some of the things that made Malcolm, you know, kind of be like, you know what? I ain't fucking with y'all like that no more. Y'all on some other shit. Check game. Let's read it. Okay. Disillusionment and departure. During 1962 and 1963, several events caused Malcolm X to reassess his relationship with the Nation of Islam, and particularly its leader, Elijah Muhammad. Lack of Nation of Islam response to LAPD violence. So let's read about this incident that happened. So this was the first incident that made Malcolm feel like, man, I ain't fucking with y'all like that. All right, so look. In late 1961, there were violent confrontations between the Nation of Islam members and police in South Central Los Angeles, and numerous Muslims were arrested. They were acquitted, but tensions had been raised. Just after midnight on April 27th, 1962, two LAPD officers, unprovoked, shoved and beat several Muslims outside Temple number 27. All right, pay attention. A large crowd of angry Muslims then emerged from the mosque, and the officers attempted to intimidate them. One officer was disarmed. His partner was shot in the elbow by a third officer. More than 70 backup officers arrived, who then raided the mosque and randomly beat Nation of Islam members. Police officers shot 7 Muslims, including William X. Rogers, who was hit in the back and paralyzed for life, and Ronald Stokes, a Korean War veteran, who was shot from behind while raising his hands over his head to surrender, killing him. Okay, I hope y'all paying attention. Peace to the goddess Miss Victoria, who donated $10. I appreciate you, goddess. All right, but pay attention to this, y'all, as y'all keeping up with this story now of this incident that took place with the LAPD. Okay, so they basically sent, I'll read it again. Police officers shot 7 Muslims, including William X. Rogers, who was hit in the back and paralyzed for life. And Ronald Stokes was also shot. Ronald Stokes was a Korean War veteran who was shot from behind while raising his hands over his head to surrender, killing him. Okay, so they basically killed them for no reason. One Muslim, Ronald Stokes, was who went and fought in the war. He went and fought in the Korean War. The man had his hands up, surrendered. They still killed him. All right? Then it says, a number of Muslims were indicted after the event. You see how times don't change? Look, a number of Muslims were indicted after the event, but no charges were laid against the police. Doesn't this sound familiar? Ain't this funny how this happened in 1962, and here we is in 2021, and this same shit still going on? But yeah, let's keep reading though. A number of Muslims were indicted after the event, but no charges were laid against the police. The coroner ruled that Stokes' killing was justified. Wow. The man that fought in the Korean War, had his hands up in surrender. The coroner ruled that his killing was justified. So now, Malcolm X felt the way about that. Malcolm X felt the motherfucking way about that. Check how Malcolm felt about that incident. To Malcolm X, the desecration of the mosque and the associated violence demanded action. And he used what Louis X. Farrakhan later called his gangster-like past to rally the more hardened of the Nation of Islam's members to take violent revenge against the police. Look at Farrakhan, bitch ass. He been a sellout. Farrakhan been a sellout. I've been told y'all that. But look at him though. So look, let's see what happened. Let's go over it. So basically, boom, 1961, LAPD run up in the mosque. They whoop up. They get to just beating up random Muslims, women and men. They killed 2 of them. Malcolm X found out about it. He get on some gangster shit like, cause they didn't just shoot. They shot 7 people, killed 2 people. So, you know, Malcolm X, like, he wasn't just talking that shit. He was living that shit. When he said by any means necessary, he meant that shit. When he said, I'm not preaching violence, but if a motherfucker lay their hands on you, you better do everything in your power to see that they never put their hands on nobody else. Malcolm meant that shit. I'm the same way. When I say I be meaning this shit, so I feel him. So basically what happened was after they had beat up, like they shot 7 people, killed 2, and beat up like 30 more people, the police end up locking up the Muslims. Ain't no police officers get charged or nothing. But here you got 2 Muslims shot, 7 shot, 2 killed, and you gonna lock up motherfuckers, and all they did was defend themselves? So Malcolm X, you know, he get on some gangster shit like, nigga, man, y'all got us fucked up. So he go rally up some more of the Muslims like, man, listen, they just attacked our people. They went and grabbed their guns. Malcolm X, see, y'all don't know this story, you see what I'm saying? They went and grabbed their guns, they finna go get down on the motherfucking LAPD. Malcolm X and some more people from the nation that he rallied up. G. Why when Malcolm rally up these individuals, they tell him don't do nothing? They tell Malcolm don't do nothing. See what I'm saying? The nation. This is the first incident that made Malcolm X be like, hold on. What type of shit y'all on? You feel me? Malcolm like, they just get down on our people. They just shot. There was women they shot too. So Malcolm like, hold on, they just went to the mosque. LAPD go to the mosque. They shoot 7 motherfuckers, kill 2, get down on like 30 other people, then they gonna lock our people up. Man, they got us fucked up. We on that. Then you hear Farrakhan bitch ass. What'd he say? He say Malcolm demanded action. Malcolm demanded action. And here go Farrakhan. Then they say Farrakhan said that Malcolm used his gangster-like pass. You know, trying to make a mockery of Malcolm. Malcolm used his gangster-like pass to rally. You know what I'm saying? This bitch-ass shit. Look at this, though. Malcolm, to Malcolm X, the desecration of the mosque and all that violence demanded action. I'm with Malcolm, you feel me? And then he used what Louis Farrakhan later called his gangster-like pass to rally the more hardened of the Nation of Islam's members to take violent revenge against the police. So see, Malcolm was finna go to war with the LAPD. Malcolm X sought Elijah Muhammad's approval, which was denied. Stunning Malcolm X. I don't think y'all, hold on. I don't think y'all understand it. After this happened, right? Malcolm X sought Elijah Muhammad's approval. Look at this. So after the LAPD raid the mosque and just get down on motherfuckers and hurt them for no reason, Malcolm X go to Elijah Muhammad like, man, we gotta go get down on their ass. I'm ready. All I need is the green light from you. And Elijah Muhammad said no. Look. Malcolm X sought Elijah Muhammad's approval, which was denied. Stunning Malcolm X. Malcolm X was again blocked by Elijah Muhammad when he spoke of the Nation of Islam starting to work with civil rights organizations. Y'all don't see that. So not only did Elijah Muhammad not allow Malcolm X to retaliate for the violence that the LAPD did against them innocent Muslims, but when Malcolm X tried to speak out against people in the nation who had started to get caught up in the civil rights movement, Elijah Muhammad told Malcolm X, don't speak on that shit neither. You see it? Look, Malcolm X sought Elijah Muhammad's approval, which was denied, stunning Malcolm X. Malcolm X was again blocked by Elijah Muhammad when he spoke of the Nation of Islam starting to work with civil rights organizations, local black politicians, and religious groups. Lewis X saw this as an important turning point in the deteriorating relationship between Malcolm X and Muhammad. So let's talk about what just happened. Okay? So basically, here we are spreading information. We get attacked by the LAPD. You the leader of the whole mosque, and we come to you like, look, man, we finna go defend ourselves. We just need the green light from you. And you tell us don't defend ourselves. Don't avenge them innocent Muslims that just got hurt and beat up and killed. You feel me? I'll be like Malcolm X too. I'll be stunned too. I'll be like, what? What you mean don't go get revenge? The United States of America don't do that. Let a motherfucker bomb the US over here or kill somebody over here, nigga. They gonna go straight to war with that country. Let 2 police officers get killed. Every precinct in that city where the killing happened, they gonna come find the killer, nigga. Everything in nature protects itself. So why would you tell us not to protect ourselves? You feel me? See, that's the first shit. That's the first sign that made Malcolm X start looking at the nation like, what the fuck is they on? Nigga. And then on top of that, now you got niggas in the nation. Not only did you just let the LAPD harm our people and you told us don't fight them back, nigga, but now you gonna let people in the nation get caught up in the civil rights movement and we was just speaking out against this shit a couple years ago? Now it's people in the nation fucking with local black politicians? This is what Malcolm was looking at. He like, what the fuck is the nation? Nigga, this shit ain't real. Oh, this shit rigged. This shit rigged. Yeah, I mean, here I am out here every day. I'm going temple to temples, preaching to people. This Malcolm. He like, I'm going temple to temple, preaching to motherfuckers. And y'all out here pump faking, nigga. Y'all ain't really ready to die about this shit. Niggas just came and got out on our people, nigga. Y'all talking about don't slide. Then y'all clicking up with the ops now, niggas is with the civil rights movement and shit. What type of whole ass shit y'all on over here, nigga? That's how Malcolm was looking at their ass. Like, nigga, this ain't how we started, nigga. Nigga, we didn't start like this. Whose side y'all really on? Now Malcolm thinking, y'all. Now he thinking. He ain't left him yet, though. But he thinking, though. Y'all with me? Y'all with me, class? Stay focused. Don't get caught up in no bot activity. Remember the Matrix, the FBI, Facebook, Instagram investigators. All right, stay focused. Now Malcolm thinking. Remember, he came into the nation, so he don't want to lead the nation. But he looking like, hold on. That ain't making sense. We not practicing what we preaching now. You feel me, Jasmine Johnson? We not practicing what we preaching now, reflection. Y'all gotta put yourself in Malcolm's shoes. You feel me? We not practicing what we preaching. So now that's strike one for Malcolm. Now let's get to strike two. Let's dive deeper what really happened with him in the nation, right? And I'm gonna dive deeper than this some Wikipedia shit. I'm gonna tie it all together. Just stay focused. All right? Check this out. Sexual misbehavior by Elijah Muhammad. Rumors were circulating that Muhammad was conducting extramarital affairs with young nation secretaries, which would constitute a serious violation of nation teachings. After first discounting the rumors, Malcolm X came to believe them after he spoke with Muhammad's son, Wallace, and with the woman making the accusations. Muhammad confirmed the rumors in 1963 So in 1963, Elijah Muhammad admitted that the rumors were actually real. So basically, Malcolm still wasn't against Elijah Muhammad. He wasn't aware that it was official until Elijah Muhammad confirmed it in 1963, attempting to justify his behavior by referring to precedents set by biblical prophets. Okay? So, all right, so yeah. So, stay focused, class. So, flip the camera around. Strike two. Now he like, hold on. So you not only is you a bitch, you out here acting like you for the people, but if something happen to our people, you ain't gonna slide. And these ain't no any people. These people that got killed was actually members of the Nation of Islam. Keep that in y'all mind. These weren't just our regular black people that still matter, but they ain't a part of the nation. All right. So Malcolm like, okay, whole time you ain't really like that. See what I'm saying? You acting like you for the cause, but you gonna let something happen to our people. You proved that when the LAPD shit happened. You's a bitch. You know, this how Malcolm looking at it. I'm gonna say it for him. Cause I feel like Malcolm working through me right now. Feel me? I got you, Malcolm. I'm gonna let your piece out for you, Malcolm. I got you, dog. I got you, big dog. You know what I'm saying? So he looking at him like, nigga, I thought you was a leader. He looking at him like Killmonger looked at motherfucking, what was his fucking name on Black Panther? What was the other one? What was the name? T'Challa. He looking at him the way Killmonger looked at T'Challa like, nigga, you old soft ass nigga. Then you on some old, you just trying to get famous shit because now you trying to get cool with the black politicians and you trying to let people participate in the civil rights movement. Also, you old Hollywood bitch ass nigga on top of that. This how Malcolm looking at him. Like you old Hollywood bitch made nigga. But he still he's still fucking with him though. Then once it comes out that he was using the nation's teachings to actually lure the young goddesses in to get them pregnant and he had 5, 6 different goddesses pregnant. And then he tried to back it up by using some shit from the Bible. Malcolm like, oh, and then you gonna silence me? So not only is you a bitch made Hollywood fake ass leader, but you telling me I can't say shit. Watch this. Peep game. Malcolm still tried to fuck with them though. So look, after the LAPD shit, hold on, let me show y'all. So here go the LAPD incident. He still ain't left the nation. Sexual misbehavior. He still ain't left the nation. Now check this out. Now right after the shit happened with the nation, with the sexual conduct, this happens. On December 1st, 1963, when asked to comment on the assassination of John F. Kennedy, Malcolm X said that it was a case of chickens coming home to roost. He added that chickens coming home to roost never did make me sad. They always made me glad. Likewise, according to the New York Times. So, the remarks prompted widespread public outcry. The Nation of Islam, which has sent a message of condolence to the Kennedy family, pay attention to that. Malcolm kept it G. When JFK got killed, Malcolm like, shit, y'all stay killing us, nigga. So shit, that ain't shit but the chickens coming home to roost. What goes around comes around with y'all bitch ass. That's all Malcolm was saying. How could you be mad at him when that was really going on? That's going on. You assassinating us every day. So what the fuck we care about one president getting assassinated when we losing black people all day, every day? Nigga, that's the chickens coming home to roost. Y'all shouldn't be out there doing all that goddamn cock-a-doodle doing if you ain't want that shit to come to y'all house. I feel him. You feel me? Now, look at how the nation responds, though. The remarks prompted widespread public outcry. The Nation of Islam, which has sent a message of condolence to the Kennedy family. What? Rewind the tape. Rewind the tape. Rewind the tape. Rewind the tape. They did what? The Nation of Islam sent a message of condolence to the Kennedy family and ordered its ministers not to comment on the assassination. Publicly censored their former shining star. Malcolm X retained his post and rank as a minister, but he was prohibited from public speaking for 90 days. Huh? Hold on. Whose side you really on, Muhammad? You see what I'm saying? See, that's why today we're diving deeper into why he was really killed. Yeah, we heard the rumors. Now we gotta look into this shit. So, nigga, first you telling me, nigga, the LAPD come and attack our people for no motherfucking reason, and I said, let's go slide, and all I need is the green light, and you told me, don't go slide. Don't go defend the people that just got hurt for no reason by the LAPD. I still rock with your bitch ass. Then I see niggas switching sides on the team. I'm witnessing niggas in the nation. I'm witnessing other brothers in the Nation of Islam. Niggas is starting to click up and do shit with civil rights activists now. Now niggas is holding tea parties with other black politicians. But when we started the nation, though, we just said we wasn't with none of that political shit. Okay? Now, let that slide. You can't say Malcolm wasn't loyal. He was loyal to the end to them niggas. Now, I let that slide. Nigga, now you start taking all the young goddesses down in the nation, having sex with them, impregnating them. Let that slide. He still was a part of the Nation of Islam. Then you get to the point where John F. K. get assassinated. All Malcolm do is do what he been doing. They asked him a question. How do you feel about the assassination? Keyword. They asked Malcolm a question. This is Malcolm X. Y'all already know how he feel about the shit before y'all even asked him. Before y'all even asked him, y'all already knew what Malcolm was gonna say. Asked him the question. He told y'all last what y'all knew he was gonna say. Some controversial shit. Hey, it's the chickens coming home to roost. I don't give a fuck about dude. Y'all don't give a fuck about us. They knew what Malcolm was gonna say before they asked him. Okay, and then once they asked Malcolm that, all Malcolm did was voice his opinion, and then his own Nation of Islam gonna silence him for 90 days from public speaking. I'm a public speaker. I know how it feels right now if they told me I can't get online for 90 days and say shit about nothing. I'll be over here, nigga, hot. Woo, I'll be fuming. Like, nah, I can't say no. You know what I'm saying? So, you tell a man he can't speak for 90 days, and it's because you already sent the letter to the Kennedy family? So, are we seeing who the Nation of Islam was really working for? All right? Who they was really working for, right? Who they was really working for. Okay? So, now, check this out. This was the last and final straw. Malcolm had become a media favorite, and some nation members believed he was a threat to Muhammad's leadership. Publishers had shown interest in Malcolm X's autobiography, and when Louis Lomax wrote his 1963 book about the nation, when the word is given, he used a photograph of Malcolm X on the cover. He also reproduced 5 of his speeches, but featured only one of Muhammad's, all of which greatly upset Muhammad and made him envious. Okay? So basically, the media then started giving Malcolm a little more shine. So this is what they've been telling us our whole life about. This is what led to, him and the nation falling out. And then you see after leaving the nation, there go a picture of him and King, and that's in 1964. Now, what y'all got to understand about this picture, why it's so deep, is because look at this. Let me show you something. After leaving the Nation of Islam, Malcolm founded Muslim Mosque Inc., MMI, a religious organization, and the Organization of Afro-American Unity, OAAU, a secular group that advocated Pan-Africanism. On March 26, 1964, he briefly met Martin Luther King Jr. for the first and only time, and only long enough for photographs to be taken in Washington, D.C., as both men attended the Senate's debate on the Civil Rights Bill at the U.S. Capitol building. In April, Malcolm X then gave a speech titled "The Ballot or the Bullet," in which he advised African Americans to exercise their right to vote wisely, but cautioned that if the government continued to prevent African Americans from attaining full equality, it might be necessary for them to take up arms. Okay, so right here on this picture, what you're witnessing is Malcolm X only meeting with Martin Luther King Jr. March 26, 1964, during the Senate's debates regarding the eventual Civil Rights Act of 1964. So what was the Civil Rights Act? The Civil Rights Act of 1964, let's click on it so we can know exactly what it was, class, so that we don't have to guess. The Civil Rights Act of 1964 is a landmark civil rights and labor law in the United States that allows discrimination based on race, color, religion, sex, national origin, and later sexual orientation and gender identity. It prohibits unequal application of voter registration requirements, racial segregation in schools, and public accommodations, and employment discrimination. History.com called the act one of the crowning legislative achievements of the civil rights movement. Okay, so this Civil Rights Act of 1964 is the act that basically allow you to work, to be able to get a good job, go to whatever school, basically participate in the matrix without being treated differently because of your skin. The whole Civil Rights Bill was some bullshit, but that's a whole separate lecture. Well, I'll break down the civil rights movement even more in detail on what that was. But staying focused on Malcolm X, right? Now, the reason that it's imperative that we go through all this, right? That we going through all this stuff because we getting closer to his assassination. And I'm about to tie everything together, right? So, 1965 was the year he was assassinated. Let's look at 1964. The year before Malcolm X was assassinated, he did a lot of traveling. He basically spent the whole 1964 overseas. He went overseas 3 times that year. 1964, the year before Malcolm X is killed. In April 1964, with financial help from his half-sister, Ella Little Collins, Malcolm X flew to Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, as the start of his Hajj, the pilgrimage to Mecca obligatory for every Muslim who was able to do so. They obligated to do that. All right. He was delayed in Jeddah when his U.S. citizenship and inability to speak Arabic caused his status as a Muslim to be questioned. He had received Abdul Rahman Hassan Azam's book, The Eternal Message of Muhammad, with his visa approval when he contacted the author. Azam's son arranged for his release and lent him his personal hotel suite. The next morning, Malcolm X learned that the Prince Faisal had designated him as a state guest. Several days later, after completing the Hajj's ritual, Malcolm X had an audience with the Prince. Malcolm X later said that seeing Muslims of all colors, from blue-eyed blondes to black-skinned Africans, interacting as equals led him to see Islam as a means by which racial problems could be overcome. That's a lie, though. They threw that in the autobiography or whatever to make it seem like that's what he was on, but that's a lie, though. So, all right. What you got to understand about this year is that Malcolm went back and forth, to and from the United States of America over to what you want to call Africa, the entire 1964. Check it out. Malcolm X had already visited the United Arab Republic, a short-lived political union between Egypt and Syria, Sudan, Nigeria, and Ghana in 1959 to make arrangements for a tour of Africa by Elijah Muhammad. After his journey to Mecca in 1964, he visited Africa a second time. He then returned to the United States in late May. He then flew to Africa again in July. That's the third time. During these visits, he met officials, gave interviews, and spoke on radio and television in Egypt, Ethiopia, Tanganyika, Nigeria, Ghana, Guinea, Sudan, Senegal, Liberia, Algeria, and Morocco. In Cairo, he attended the second meeting of the Organization of African Unity as a representative of the OAAU. By the end of the third visit, he had met with essentially all of Africa's prominent leaders. Okay? They end up giving him the name, the honorary Yoruba name, Omowale, which means the son who has come here. All right? If you want to talk to me one-on-one, Soldier 5040, you got to go on my website and book a one-on-one consultation, God. All right, so look, y'all. Let's tie it together, right? So, oh yeah, let me show you too, real quick, before we start tying everything together. Throughout 1964, as his conflict with the Nation of Islam intensified, Malcolm X was repeatedly threatened. In February, a leader of Temple No. 7 ordered the bombing of Malcolm X's car, in which Muhammad told Boston minister Louis X, later known as Louis Farrakhan, that hypocrites like Malcolm should have their heads cut off. Shit. In February, a leader of Temple No. 7 ordered the bombing of Malcolm X's car. In March, Muhammad told Boston minister Louis X, later known as Louis Farrakhan, that hypocrites like Malcolm should have their heads cut off. The April 10th edition of Muhammad Speaks featured a cartoon depicting Malcolm X bouncing severed head. All right. On June 8th, FBI surveillance recorded a telephone call in which Betty Shabazz was told that her husband was good as dead. 4 days later, an FBI informant received a tip that Malcolm X is going to be bumped off. The same month, the nation sued to reclaim Malcolm X's residence in East Elmhurst, Queens. So notice how leading up to his death, they got it looking like it's the Nation of Islam, okay? And that it's all based around the fact that he fell out with the Nation of Islam. Pay attention. His family was ordered to vacate, but on February 14th, 1965, the night before a hearing on postponing the eviction, the house was destroyed by fire on Valentine's Day. All right? On July 9th, Muhammad A. John Ali, suspected of being an undercover FBI agent, referred to Malcolm X by saying, anyone who opposes the Honorable Elijah Muhammad puts their life in jeopardy. You see how they tied everything to the Nation of Islam. Stay focused. All right? This day history of him. The September 1964 issue of Ebony dramatized Malcolm X's defiance of these threats by publishing a photograph of him holding an M1 carbine while peering out a window. On February 19th, 1965, that's where he was assassinated at, where he transcended the realm at. All right, so the elites definitely had their hand on this. They put their numbers all over it. Let's look at it. On February 19th, 1965, Malcolm X told interviewer Gordon Parks that the Nation of Islam was actively trying to kill him. On February 21st, 1965, he was preparing to address the OAAU in Manhattan in the Audubon Ballroom when someone in the 400-person audience yelled, "Nigger, get your hand out my pocket." As Malcolm X and his bodyguards tried to quell the disturbance, a man rushed forward and shot him once in the chest with a sawed-off shotgun, and two other men charged the stage firing semi-automatic handguns. Malcolm X was pronounced dead at 3:30 p.m. The autopsy identified 21 gunshot wounds. All right? So notice that the day he was killed was the 21st, and he was shot 21 times. Also, he wasn't pronounced dead till 3:30 p.m. They love putting their numbers on something when they do what they do. Okay? So look. So let's tie all this together, right? Because they told some truth, but they did more lying than truth telling than that. All right? We finna tie it all together, family. Yeah. Masonic code, 333. 3:30 p.m. rather. So, we finna tie it all together. Let me get this water. Cause see, so look, now we just read what they had to say a little bit about the God Malcolm X, as we known him down when he was down here. All right, so truth being told is this though. A lot of that was just bullshit. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. A lot of what they said was straight, flat out bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Because in reality, now certain things I emphasized and made points on was official. That's why I made points on them. Because see, what was happening was this: Malcolm X already had this DEA and this RNA in him. That's why that's why at the beginning I told y'all, notice his dad, his father was like that. His mom was like that. All of Malcolm X's uncles were killed by the oppressors. Okay? All of them. So that was passed down through his genetics to have that rebellious spirit and that soul anyway. All right? But although the nation was doing a bunch of things that had already started pushing Malcolm away from them, because he had his own brain. He wasn't slow. You know what I'm saying? He was tapped in. So he was already starting to put two and two together. But what really did it for Malcolm was when he went on his Hajj. When he went on his Hajj and he went to them pyramids and he tapped in with that energy and that frequency and he said with them real ancient gurus over there, that's when Malcolm found out about the pyramids, found out what the pyramids really were. He got to find out more about ancient Kemet. He got to find out about metaphysics. He got to find out that religion is fucking man-made. The first thing that made him start questioning religion, and they don't tell you this, he had been get out the nation way before they try to make it seem like he didn't get out the nation until a year before he was killed. He had been got out the nation of Islam. And they don't have this shit in no books or nothing because they not gonna tell you the truth. You get what I'm saying? They're not gonna give you that download. I'm tapped in on that frequency with the ancestors to give you them type of downloads. You get what I'm saying? But he had been severed from religion. That's why I wanted to show y'all that first so I can make my point. He had already severed from religion. When the LAPD had attacked them and Elijah Muhammad didn't allow them to defend themselves, and then when Elijah Muhammad then used the nation as like a coat to impregnate all these younger goddesses, Malcolm was already like, I ain't fucking with them niggas no more. He wasn't fucking with them niggas no more. He wasn't fucking. He started already thinking like, what's to Elijah Muhammad? What am I really a part of? And then when he seen Elijah Muhammad and them side with the Kennedys, you know what I'm saying? And we supposed to be speaking against them and you gonna side with them? What they don't tell you about is how when he went to Egypt and he went to Jeddah and he went to see these pyramids, how he went into deep forms of meditation. He sat with ancient gurus over there. He had spiritual guides over there that was showing him the real history. They try to make it seem like Malcolm got over there in Egypt and he became enlightened to the fact that white people aren't bad anymore. That's what they tell you. They be like, man, he went in on his Hajj, and over there is where he seen white Muslims with blue eyes. And it was over there where he realized that the white people ain't the issue no more. You know what I'm saying? They try to take his story and flip it. And that's what they leave his story at. They make it seem like he went over there on his spiritual Hajj and he became awoken when he seen these white, blue-eyed Muslims. So he had a newfound understanding, and he came back over and he died. Like, that's what they want you to believe. That's bullshit. All right? He had already started seeing that religion wasn't true and religion wasn't real. And the only thing that happened when he went on his Hajj, he got in contact with higher dimensional beings. He went over there and got in contact in Jeddah with higher dimensional vibration beings, real guys walking in the flesh. Like, You know what I'm saying? Because the desert is nothing but a big portal, a contraption. You get what I'm saying? And in the Middle East, where the desert at, that's why they set up a lot of that shit right there. It's a lot of dimensions and portals and vortexes over there. That's what Malcolm really got tapped in with. And when he got tapped in with that, that's when they started showing him about what the meanings of the pyramids mean. They started teaching him about these different dimensions. They started teaching him that he was higher than religion, that he wasn't just a body. They started talking to him about ancient Kemet. You get what I'm saying? He went on his Hajj. When he went on his Hajj, he found out what all this meant. He didn't know what that meant. He didn't know. Come on, man. In 2021, we way more tapped in than they was tapped in back then. When we get to talking about metaphysics and we talking about black goo and kundalini energy, photon energy, Malcolm and them wasn't talking about that, right? So you could say we on a much higher dimension right now with the information, right? Because our generation is ready for it. Now, knowing what we know today about ancient Kemet, right? Knowing what we know about carbon, knowing what we know about us coming from the Sirius star system, do you think Malcolm didn't learn that when he went over there? Yes, he learned that. He learned all that. When that man went on that Hajj over there. Come on, man. Says it right here. Malcolm got enlightened when he went his ass over there. He spent the whole 1964 over there. See, this is when he found out about those black extraterrestrials. This is when Malcolm found out that he can actually charge these draconian reptilians, known as Queen Elizabeth, known as the United States of America. This is when he found out that they stole our entire identity. He didn't know it was that deep till he went on his pilgrimage to Mecca. And he listen, he became so awoke, he couldn't help himself. He went 3 times that year. Says it right here. Malcolm X had already visited the United Arab Republic between Egypt and Syria, Sudan, Nigeria, and Ghana in 1959 to make arrangements for a tour of Africa by Elijah Muhammad. So prior, he had already been there before, but he had never went on that mission on his own and sat down with those higher dimensional beings that he came in contact with over there. After his journey to Mecca in 1964, he visited a second time. There we go. After his journey to Mecca in 1964, Malcolm visited Africa a second time. He then returned to the United States in late May. Right there. And flew to Africa again in July, a third time. Twisted God is what it do, sis. During these visits, he met officials, gave interviews, and spoke on radio and television in Egypt, Ethiopia, Tanzania, Nigeria. Look where he went. Ghana, Guinea, Sudan, Senegal, Liberia, Algeria, Morocco. He went 3 times in 1 year, y'all. By the end of his 3rd visit, he had met with essentially all of Africa's prominent leaders. Come on, man. He went through the whole land, man. He went all up through Africa, man. All up through there. He was learning about ancient Kemet. That's why he kept going back. He didn't know it was that deep. Man, he went over there, man. They sat him down and got to show him these black gods, man. Got to teach him these ancient ways, man. Showing him where we really come from. That we invented everything. Malcolm didn't know it was that deep. He didn't know it was that deep. But once he went, he couldn't stop going, though. Once he went, he stopped going, though. Nigga, he went all the way up till they killed him. He went 3 times in 1964 alone. That's why I said he basically spent the whole 1964 over there, nigga. And see, it was over there where Malcolm learned about ancient Kemet. The pyramids. What these helmet structures mean. And the snake, the Kundalini energy. All-seeing eye. Why these blue colors? The chakra brow. The 33 dimensions. It was over there where they enlightened Malcolm about the Sirius star system, where he was told about the truth of the true origin place of the carbonated being, where he was starting to be taught about this carbon, this photon energy, and our connection to nature and all of its elements. That religion isn't real. And what made him accept that religion wasn't real was because he seen what Elijah Muhammad did. He looked up to Elijah Muhammad. He loved Elijah Muhammad. If you go back and listen to all Malcolm's speeches, man, he always spoke highly of Elijah Muhammad. He always credited Elijah Muhammad as being the source of a lot of his inspiration in his speeches. Go back and listen to him for yourself. But he started to understand that religion, the Nation of Islam, was funded by the FBI, just like Christianity, just like the Vatican, and all these churches is funded by our oppressors. So then Malcolm was like, oh, that makes sense. Now I see why Elijah Muhammad telling me to be quiet. Now I see why Elijah Muhammad sending letters to JFK. Now I see why Elijah Muhammad didn't really want to go to war with the LAPD after they killed and hurt our innocent Muslim brothers and sisters. That's what Malcolm's saying. He's saying just how deep it was. You know, NAACP, they are owned by the government. All these religions owned by the government used to infiltrate the communities. And then when he went on his Hajj, he found out about these black extraterrestrials, which is us. We those black extraterrestrials. We come from the Sirius star system, 19th galaxy. Our home planet is located in the 19th galaxy. Our carbonated beings who got carbon in their skin. He found out the truth about how we got 7 chakras. And these 7 chakras are responsible for allowing us to do things that would defy the laws of nature. He found out that the ancient Kemet is still in existence, but it's just on a higher frequency. He found out what these colors mean. He found out the connection of us to all of these elements. He was in contact with higher vibrational beings over there. You got a lot of beings over there that's literally gods walking in the flesh, man, and they in full contact with their energy. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of openings over there. A lot of vortexes. You know, he was finding out about all of this. What pyramids, why they shaped like this, what they was meant to do, what the Sphinx meant, what the Sphinx mean. He was learning. What's the purpose of a pyramid shape? Because it forms a vortex. What's a vortex? A vortex is this. You see this line? You see where these points meet? You see where the points meet? That's a vortex. And this is the same shape that our energy towers were in. We only left these pyramids down here as reminders. These are on the 33rd parallel. These are all reminders. Malcolm was learning about this. He was learning about this. Sun gods. That's us on them walls. That's us on them walls, man. That's us on the walls. That's us on the walls. You see this? Most of us will look at this and wouldn't even be able to interpret this right now. You would just see a bunch of scribble scrabble pictures at the bottom. See it? All these represents the different signs of nature. Elements of nature. You see the goddess and the god on top. This represents our connection to nature, how everything is under us. You can basically see all these, the symbolism right here represents mental alchemy. See them both, they got their ether. They're both going, and almost any symbol you see when you looking at these ancient, when you looking at these ancient pictures, you're gonna notice they got ether on their head, a lot of ether on their head, which you now call hair, or they're gonna have they're gonna have this crown. This crown right here represents the Kundalini energy, the rising of the serpent, the higher vibrations, higher dimensions. All right, so this right here would be like a form of alchemy right here. This is like a drawing of alchemy out on the table and the balance of nature and the elements. And then right here you see a bunch of different, what looks like scribble scrabble. It's not scribble scrabble. These are actually pictures. Pictures. Different elements, different beings, and different planes of existence. So these actually light up. Like when if you was to go over there, these would light up if you was to touch them. These will light up. You get what I'm saying? Like, this is why they keep us from over there. Like, if you was to go over there and you was to connect soon, because you are a field of energy and conscious energy. So when you walk around and you get up in the circumference of these light up. These light up and all type of other things start taking place. Because these codes are written in your genetics and your DEA and your RNA. So these codes, these are just codes. These are just codes. We are way more advanced. So these are just codes. Like people in Kemet, you gotta understand. This was ancient Kemet. This is us after the fall. Okay? So even when Malcolm was coming over here and he was learning this about the black extraterrestrials, right? This was still after the fall. And we were vibrating higher than this originally. So when they showing you ancient Kemet, ancient Egypt, and things like this is still us after the fall. This is what you gotta understand. This is still us after the fall, y'all. This is still after the fall, y'all. You know, this is still us after the fall. This is all after the fall. None of this represents us before the fall. This is all after the fall. That's what you gotta know. This is all after the fall. All after the fall. But yeah, when Malcolm was going over there, he was learning about these black extraterrestrials. You get what I'm saying? They was teaching him about our connection to these different realities in these realms. Shut this down for a second. Yeah. So when Malcolm was going over there, he was learning about the black extraterrestrials. So who are the black extraterrestrials? These black extraterrestrials would be us, because you have to understand the way we were viewed, the way they spoke about us when they seen us, and the things that we were doing. So, the fact that we come from a different planet, we come from, when I was just showing you all, for example, the pyramids. All right, these pyramids form energy vortexes. You know what I'm saying? Energy vortexes. You get what I'm saying? Just like that, the sun, that's shining outside every day. This sun that's shining outside every single day of our life affects your pineal gland. Just from the rays of the sun, just hitting this, going, just touching your forehead affects your pineal gland. Okay, so when Malcolm went on this Hajj, they don't get into depth. What you think he was learning when they was teaching about ancient Kemet? And when they even speak about Kemet, like I keep saying, we are way more advanced than that. We are gods and goddesses. We created the entire cosmos. So understand that even when you're speaking about Kemet, you're still speaking about a society of us, and that was still after we fell. That wasn't us at our highest frequency, us at our highest form. Okay, and then you even have like in 1960, I think that was what, 1962, the famous landing at the White House they talk about when the UFOs landed. I think that was 1962? Let me pull it up. I think that was 1962. Oh, that was 1952. Okay. Yeah, hold on. I'm looking at it right now. That's 1952. I'm looking at it right now. Okay, so that was 1952. All right, that was 1952, y'all. But hold on. Yeah. Okay, so in the event that happened in 1952 when the UFOs landed at the White House, right? It's several people that worked like in the military that was like around to see that event. They have reported seeing tall black people get off ships, too. All right. So when you speak about black extraterrestrials, that's us they speaking about. These tall, angelic like beings, that have been described pretty much all through history, all the way from the beginning. Like I say, even when they talk about the Dogon tribe, and they speak about how they'll tell you how their ancestors came from the Sirius star system. So, you got to understand that going to sit down and going on that spiritual Hajj, Malcolm went deep within, and when he went deep within, he went deep within. You get what I'm saying? He went deep within over there. And when you think of an extraterrestrial, right? They want you to focus on some shit like this. You feel me? This is called a gray. They exist. These beings right here, They exist. Those are grays. They actually exist. All right. Those are the grays. They actually exist. But when you think of an extraterrestrial, that's what they want you to think of. You get what I'm saying? When you think of an extraterrestrial, they want you to immediately think of a gray. But you have to understand that nothing on this planet is from this planet. Okay, so everything on this planet is comes from a whole different location, and that's what Malcolm X was discovering. That's what he was finding out on this spiritual Hajj, that it's so much deeper, than just these black people walking around and you sitting there thinking you got to fight for these civil rights for them. That's what Malcolm thought. It was about just trying to get equal freedom for black people. That's what he thought going over to Mecca. But once he got over there and he started getting around the pyramids and the energy of the pyramids, and remember, we are electrical beings. Those pyramids was made for us. So just getting in the energy, the frequency field of those pyramids, getting in the frequency field, you know what I'm saying? That's gonna take you to a whole nother level. Meditating under that heat, in that you need a certain form of heat. Like, you gotta understand, like, our entire planet was warm everywhere at one point in time. Exactly. Facts. Peace to the ancestors. Exactly. So, Malcolm, was finding out about this 33rd parallel. So, when he was sitting down over there, with these, what you want to call them, Saudi Arabians, if you want to call them that, because Saudi, the original meaning of Saudi is black. You know what I'm saying? If you want to go off the meaning of words and how they played on words, because we know that words aren't nothing but spells. All right, and it comes from the alphabet system that we taught them. All right, but at the same time, you got to understand on metaphysically that this realm is set up in planes. So when Malcolm was over there in ancient Kemet, not ancient Kemet, he was over there in Jeddah on this pilgrimage in Mecca. Hold on. He was tapping in with higher vibrational beings. And these are the beings that was teaching him about religion, the Sirius star system, this being the place where we came from, the truth behind nationality. I don't think a lot. He was actually finna bring the country up on denationalism. He was trying to figure out a way to charge to sue the country, and allow us to get our nationality back. Because I think a lot of blacks and Latinos fail to realize that you don't have a nationality. You don't have one at all. You can't say you're African American and you can't say you're Latin American. You don't come from England yet you speak English. So who are you? What are you? He was gonna do that as well. But the biggest thing that he was finna expose was this truth about these black extraterrestrials, the builders of the true builders of the pyramids, the true builders of this planet, the true builders of this realm. That's the information that he was finna put out there. Even the way it was being painted with him and Martin Luther King, for example. Him and Martin Luther King, although publicly they made it seem like they were like enemies, him and Martin Luther King was actually getting on the same page, on the same frequency. They was having a lot of private conversations that hasn't been documented. You know what I'm saying? And where they were coming together. That's the true reason why they killed Martin Luther King. Like, they wasn't, remember, they killed Malcolm X before they killed Martin Luther King. Okay, so they wasn't really gonna fuck with King like that until they saying he got in cahoots with Malcolm. And they just spaced it out a little bit. That's all. But like, King was already on that list. They just spaced it out a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta understand that the Nation of Islam did not kill Malcolm X. Okay? That's the lie that's been told all throughout history. The Nation of Islam killed him. The CIA didn't kill him. All right? They didn't kill him. The government didn't kill him. You know what I'm saying? And he wasn't killed, you know what I'm saying, due to the fact that he was beefing with the Nation of Islam. He wasn't killed for the fact because Elijah Muhammad felt like Malcolm X was more popular than him. He wasn't killed because the FBI deemed him a threat. He was strictly killed off the fact that he found out about the black extraterrestrials. He found out this truth about these black extraterrestrials, about the fact that we are these black extraterrestrials. We are the ones that come, we are the Skywalkers. You feel me? We are the Skywalkers. You feel me? There is no separation. You feel me? That's the real truth that Malcolm was finding out. You know what I'm saying? So, and it was a very powerful thing, especially coming from the fact that he truly believed in like how they wrote. You see how they wrote on Wikipedia, like he was a Sunni Muslim, and then when they killed him, his autobiography was never. He was never alive to finish his autobiography. So it's imperative that y'all understand that once they killed him, they didn't put whatever they want to put in the book. And then when they film the movie, they gonna show you the movie. Hollywood gonna show you the movie based upon the way they want you to view his character. They already told you he was a homosexual and had boyfriends on the side. If you go look him up on Wikipedia and you believe, you know, you get what I'm saying? They said the same thing about Martin Luther King too. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, understand that the real truth was the fact that he found out a deeper truth. He found out a bigger truth. He found out about our connection to the sun because he went on that Hajj. All right? He went on that Hajj. He found out that we were frequency. You get what I'm saying? That you have 7 layers to your electromagnetic field. You have 33 chakras that you can attain. He found out who the true Allah is himself. Arm, leg, arm, head. He was over there in meditation. He was over there meditating. He found out about the real Islam, the original Islam. I, self, Lord, and Master. You get what I'm saying? That's what he found out. And that's what he was having written in his book. They took all them inserts, destroyed them, and gave us the version they wanted us to hear of Malcolm X. His true thoughts, his true memoirs and shit never been released to the public. Never been released. That man found out that the Nation of Islam is controlled by the federal government. He like, hold on. These people acting like Nation of Islam is just like the KKK. He found that out. He found out about the draconian reptilians. And the real reason Elijah Muhammad was molesting them girls, it ran way deeper than him just impregnating them. Elijah Muhammad was in with this Bavarian Illuminati, so he had to make blood sacrifices. He had to make sacrifices the same way people do when they sign up and they join Hollywood. These black people and Latino, the gods and goddesses that go into Hollywood, chasing the light, chasing the stardom, right? Not knowing what it come with. And they go in there and they sign over and sell their soul. Elijah Muhammad did the same thing. They had sex trafficking going on back then. So what do you think Elijah Muhammad was really doing with the younger goddesses in the nation? They don't tell that story. They don't tell how Elijah Muhammad was helping sex traffic girls through the Nation of Islam and how they were funded by the federal government and the CIA. And still is to this day. Malcolm X found out about all that. They just try to make it seem like, oh, Elijah Muhammad was just having sex. Man, Elijah Muhammad wasn't participating in sex trafficking. Elijah Muhammad was a part of the Bavarian Illuminati, sold his soul, making blood sacrifices. What you talking about? You know how many girls Elijah Muhammad and the Nation of Islam trafficked to these draconian reptilians? It's all part of the blood sacrifice. No different than today. All these black and Latino celebrities and just regular celebrities alike. That's either draconian reptilians or they making sacrifices soon. Remember, these draconian reptilians need that. They need the blood. They need it. They need the energy. They need the adrenaline from your fear. They need that. It get way deeper than him just impregnating. No. You know what I'm saying? It get way deeper than that. And Malcolm knew about all of it. It was go expose all of it. Like, you gotta understand how deep it go. And he was already pulling away, but when he went in and did that, and went and did that went and had that and had that spiritual Hajj, that basically just opened up the door for the elites to make the move they want to make. But remember, he just transcended the realm. He ain't die. We immortal. We don't never die. We souls, spirits, immortal beings. We'll never die. He just transcended the realm. But with the platform he had and him finding out that type of information, coming into that type of power, it made everything unfold the way it needed to. Exactly. Energy has no beginning or end, Chopper McKee. We never die. But understand the truth of what made them really want to pull the plug and go after him. He been coming at, he been telling truth. So you know it couldn't have been no truth. They would have been got him. It was when he started going overseas. Fucking with the pyramids. Tapping into that energy source. Tap into the source. And he was so tapped in that he could have even avoided them shooting him. He told his people, don't check nobody that day. He knew that was going to happen. And they even show you that in the movie. If you do go watch the movie about how that day was for him. You know what I'm saying? He knew death wasn't real. He understood that. Listen, he had already did what he came to do. He had already came and did what he came down here to do. Remember I talked to y'all about plugging, you can plug yourself out the matrix. This is a video game. This is a simulation. This realm is not real. We unplug ourselves out of it. If you really want to know the truth, that's how deep it get. Remember I told you we all back home on the Sirius star system watching ourselves here and on other planets and other lifetimes. But these are not our real bodies. Like, it's deep. This rabbit hole is never ending. That's why so many of you reach out to me and y'all always, I might say something and it might not catch you today, but then you might hit me 2 months from now or a few weeks from now. Y'all reach out, y'all be like, hey man, thank you God, man. I watch all your videos and you said this and you was right. You was right. I'm not lying to y'all about these energy vortexes. I'm not lying to you about these portals. I'm not lying to you about the fact we don't die, we immortal. You know what I'm saying? I'm not lying to you about the fact that Malcolm X, they attacked him because he found out about the black extraterrestrials, which is us. And then he also was aware of that meeting that they had at the White House. All right? That they had at the White House with those Greys. Because the Greys been coming and visiting, because the Greys, you gotta remember when they first came to our planet, who is they? They came in threes. It was 3 different species. It was the draconian reptilians, all right? The Pleiadians, well, some of the Pleiadians, because not all the Pleiadians are bad, but most of them is. So it was the draconian reptilians, some of the Pleiadians, and the human beings. So the meeting they had that happened in 1952, that was with the Greys when they came and they landed because the Greys are from Mars. That's their home planet. You know what I'm saying? That's their home. That's their home planet. You know what I'm saying? So when the tall grays landed, you know what I'm saying? When the tall grays landed, they speak about the situation with the tall grays in 1952, because it's a lot of different extraterrestrial species. You get what I'm saying? But when they talk about these black extraterrestrials, they're talking about us, the angelic beings, the gods and goddesses. You get what I'm saying? The builders, the givers of life, the creators of the cosmos, electrical beings, us. We did that. This is what we do. Like I taught y'all when I was telling y'all, these rainbows and stargates that we created. That's why the rainbow has all of our colors in it. Every color in the rainbow is a color in your chakra. If you didn't exist, that rainbow couldn't exist. You see, nothing can exist without us. This is what Malcolm X found out. This is what he was right. This is what he was working on. He had a book he was working on that he was finna put out. More his speeches was finna change more toward that type of content, and they was able to. They got to him. They was able to get to him. He transcended. He left, plugged himself out. So you got to understand that this is another reason why they don't speak about him like that. He don't really have a holiday. Like Martin Luther King got a holiday. Malcolm X ain't nothing really. You get what I'm saying? You know, because of the fact that he represented the rebellion. They don't want us to rebel against them, because then we'll rise up and take back what's ours, which is this planet. So they fear anytime we get intelligent. They fear anytime we start asking questions. It don't matter how we do it, whether we stand up and get loud or whether we sit here calm. We get to asking motherfucking questions, they don't like it. Because, or if we start speaking up like saying, hey, let's protect ourselves. Now they say you violent. Now they fear you. Now they call you racist. A human being quick to call you racist when you talk about this real type of conversation. When you talk about the fact that we created these deserts. When you talk about the fact that we can channel the frequency of the sun, we the only ones that can do that. Nothing on the planet can channel the frequency of the sun but us. But if you talk like that, now you're deemed a racist. They don't want to say that we are gods and goddesses that created the cosmos and created everything. They rather give that credit to and say the aliens made it. They don't want you to go within. They want you to stay without. That's why they created religion for you and made 8, 9 different denominations for your ass. To keep you divided against yourself. It's about unity. It's not about trying to go out and make the human beings feel more comfortable by telling them whatever we need to tell them to make them feel like they're a part of us. We gave them a part of our DEA, part of our blood within them. So true unity is to speak the truth. And if we speak in the truth, they gotta come and level up and get on our side. We not preaching war, but we're not finna back down from anything. You know, to this day, they still will never say who killed them. And they'll never say why they killed them. The true reason. Had he not went and did the spiritual Hajj, he would have been around a whole lot longer. I guarantee you. He had already, like I say, he had already been talking shit to him for a long time. And that wasn't what did it. Going to those pyramids, touching those pyramids, letting your energy get all up in. Think about it. How many of us really go take a trip to the pyramids? It ain't like we don't have the money. It's just that don't be on a nigga. That don't be on y'all things to do list. Most gods and goddesses, we take our money. We go to the Caribbean. We go to Vegas. We go fly to Cali, New York, Florida. We do something like that. Motherfuckers that go to Europe before they go see some damn pyramids. You get what I'm saying? We got to understand the strength that we possess and who we are and what we are. Electrical beings, a magical realm. So, Elijah Muhammad, participating in sex trafficking and the sacrificing of young black girls by acting like they, it was some of them girls that never came back. See, they don't tell you that, how many girls that Elijah Muhammad, even though he had carbon in his skin, he sold out. You know what I'm saying? You know how many girls, motherfuckers came up missing? And it just wasn't reported like that because they was backed by the Federal Bureau of Investigation. Like, oh yeah, shout out to Jamaica always. Shout out to the whole Caribbean. I mean, all the carbonated beings on the planet. Like, you just got to understand how deep it get. That's why I said we can't just be trusting people because they got carbon in their skin. We can't say all human beings bad because you got some human beings that got good spirits. I fuck with some. It's a couple of human beings that actually fuck with this university. I don't change my content. And they sit in here and they be like, yeah, that's real shit. Y'all is the God species and everything was took from y'all. You know what I'm saying? But then you got those, majority of the humans not like that. You know what I'm saying? But then you got, even amongst the gods and goddesses, you got some gods and goddesses that elect to dive in their lower self and they gonna stay down there because that's who they want to be. Like Satan did. Like Zeus did. Like Satan chose to drop to his lowest frequency. So you got to understand why they'll push Martin Luther King in front of your face, but they will never push Malcolm X in front of you. They'll never push Marcus Garvey in front of you because they represent rebellion. They'll never give Nat Turner a holiday. These are individuals that represent standing up and fighting back. They don't want you to fight back because you are an ancient being. If you fight back, they might fuck around and lose. They know they gonna lose. You get what I'm saying? So, understand that it was him going over there, sitting in those pyramids, sitting in that heat, sitting with those high vibrational beings, meditating, tapping into the Akashic records that's locked in our DEA. The plasma energy, just sitting in the sun, soaking it up like that. That's what made the oppressors, the elites, as we like to call them, kill him. They was afraid he was gonna expose the truth about the birth certificate and our nationality, as well as the fact that we are not from this planet. We are ancient beings, advanced beings, multi-dimensional, intelligent, beyond comprehension, fields of light, electromagnetic energy, high frequency. We are composed of dark matter energy, celestial beings, creators of the cosmos, designers and architects of life herself. That's who we are. And they didn't want you to know that. They don't want us to know that. They don't want you to know that. They want you to think an alien is, a little just something with what you see on TV. No, we are the black extraterrestrials that they speak of on their History Channel. We are those black extraterrestrials that they speak of that could be in the lost cities underneath the oceans. We are advanced, highly functional, sharp, able to adapt to any circumstance, any environment. 9 ether beings, gods, That's why I'm telling gods. We are gods and goddesses. Literally, we control this matter with this. With our electricity and our magnetism. We control matter with this. Just a thought. We control this shit with this. That's how powerful you are. Thoughts shape reality. Words shape reality. And whatever you think, thus it shall be. So, but when you get on that frequency, you set off electrical wirings within the matrix. This is an electromagnetic realm. When you get on that frequency, they'll be aware of it too. Remember, it's like a video game. It's a simulation. We are literally playing with our own avatars, watching ourselves. Just watching ourselves. Death isn't real. Energy is, though. Life isn't real. Death isn't real. Energy is. So, understand that we just energy. Dark matter plasma energy. We come from Silenthia, Sirius X. Dark planet. Center of the universe. Center of the cosmos, rather. 19th galaxy. That's where it's located, in the 19th galaxy. Your home planet, if you have carbon in your skin, is in the 19th galaxy. Supreme, you a supreme being. Supreme beings, man. You know? So, they've shaped a force field of lies around our cranium to create an electrical jail for your electricity. Light code lockdown. It's a jail. That's why it's important that you know the true reason they killed Malcolm X. Black extraterrestrials. Him discovering that truth. Him discovering that truth. You got locations right now on the planet where you can... Listen, you just don't know, man. Where you can walk. You can walk right into other universes. It's certain... Because words are sounds. Certain sounds you can emit and say with the right sound, you will open up a portal right in front of you to walk into other dimensions. Realities. Planets. Universes. Galaxies. That's alchemy, though. I'm gonna be teaching y'all about mental alchemy, though. But the more we get into mental alchemy, you start learning about sound frequency and how it resonates with nature around you, and all you can use sounds to tear apart matter. So when you say certain sounds, it's like, because the portal was nothing but opening up the matter in front of you. Yeah, we definitely was giant. We was giants. You know, blood blue. Our skin was blue, red, or green originally. That's why I say, even when they showing you ancient Kemet, that's all after the fall. That's all after the fall. All right, but that wrap up our lecture on Malcolm X and the true reason why he was killed. Because what he knew about these black extraterrestrials, and he was about to expose that, and with the platform he had. So, and it all started with him taking these spiritual Hodges, you know, to Jeddah. You get what I'm saying? Oh yeah, definitely. I could do it, Yakeem. I got you. I'll do a video on that though. On the original people of Seneca Village, where Central Park was at. Yeah, the West Central Park at in New York, that did used to be Seneca Village. But you know, my thoughts on that is the same as everywhere. Like, that's just another one of our stories that goes to show how this was our land. Like, no matter what story you go to, whether it be what happened in Seneca Park, which is now Central Park, New York, or whether we talking about the Illinois tribe that was in where Chicago, Illinois is today, or whether we talk about the law, like, no matter where you go, it's gonna date back to these Europeans coming out of these caves and conquering the whole world. It started with the Germanic raids. You know, they came out the caves, you know, after you know, learning what they needed to learn from us, from the Moors. You know, they were able to use our technology against us, and then they raided us from that point. You know, so, and we fell in frequency, and it was just a continuous fall that never stopped, all the way down to the Egyptians. Then the Egyptians slowed it down. The Egyptians slowed it down, you know, because the Egyptians was able to, you know, their generation dropped to like a lower frequency, but then they pulled themselves back up to a higher dimension, you know. So they kind of slowed it down, but when we fell in frequency, we was on the 33rd dimension. You know what I'm saying? We were vibrating so high. And remember, dimensions is places within the cosmos, within your etheric bodies, though. You know what I'm saying? So dimensions are within you. You know, they're states of thought or energy, you know, which allows things to happen, to manifest a certain way. Dimensions. Yeah, all our energy and everything that we ever taught was alive, was switched up and used against us. And that's why when, you know, learning about alchemy, mental alchemy, and how to transmute energy, learning about force fields, learning about strengthening your aura, learning about the fact that we not from this planet. So you can basically say we aliens too. You know, nobody with carbon in their skin, none of the Black and Latino people, your original gods and goddesses, we not from here. None of the animals are from here and from here. The only thing that's here is the soil. You know what I'm saying? Like, we even brought the water here, the oceans here. You know, the ocean itself is one of the ancient titans, you know, of legend, that actually is one of our brothers and sisters, are one of the ancestors to some of us, depending on how old your soul is. But ocean is the oceans we actually see is the actual material manifestation of an ancient god, you know, whose spirit is in every part of this ocean that surrounds this planet. You know, and that happened when the ancient war broke out down here. So it get real deep. This rabbit hole run deep. It run real deep. This rabbit hole run real deep. You know, so that's why I say, like, you know, when Malcolm figured that out and he started to think for himself and started to break away from the lies, then that's when the nation, you know, he became a threat to them. But it wasn't the nation that did it though. They used the nation as the scapegoat. You know, but it was bigger forces and principalities at work, you know, with what happened with him. You know, same thing with you know, with King. You know, with King, you know, it was just more about the fact that King was rising in consciousness. He was gonna get to a point where he was gonna, you know, give a different drawing, and he was seeing a lot of the stuff that Malcolm was talking to him about. So, you know, King was just he had to go just to, you know, he was insurance to make sure that we didn't rise again for a minute. You know, so that's what Martin Luther King was. He was the insurance. You yeah, definitely Jupiter Ascendant definitely do. Jupiter Ascendant says a lot. Brianka McNeil. But yeah, I love y'all reflection. Y'all can follow me on, if y'all ain't following me on Instagram, follow me on Instagram at I am RASHAD JAMAL. I do live lectures Monday through Thursday. But we're gonna have a new schedule in March though, y'all. Cause I think I want to do more YouTube live. So, you know, we're gonna have a new schedule in March. But as far as the rest of this month, it's gonna be the same as it's on that flyer. So I'll see y'all tomorrow on Instagram. Y'all know the time, you know what I'm saying, early. No, it's 3:33 p.m. Yeah, tomorrow. So we on IG tomorrow. So if you on YouTube, be sure to follow me on Instagram so you can catch the lecture tomorrow. We had almost 500 people on here today. That's great. So I think we should do more YouTube live lectures. Definitely now that we got the iPad back busting. You know what I'm saying? So I'm feeling that. Adrenochrome, your Kingdom Muslim, email me please, Fly Mama. You gotta hit the you definitely gotta hit the email. Falcon Lover say message to the youth. My message to the youth is to keep enlightening yourself. Focus on meditation, focus on enlightening your soul and your spirit. Don't get caught up in working for these people. Start your own company, start your own business. That's my message for the youth and for my people in general. Like, fuck working up in they factories. Fuck America in general. Like, fuck her. You know what I'm saying? Start your own companies, do your own thing, because she coming down. This money system is over with. Everything coming down. So you gotta understand that we are living in the last days of their system. Like, this is just, you probably got a year left in this money system. You can enjoy it, but like, have your third eye open to the point to understand that we are shifting. It's a cosmic shift. It's a planetary shift that's going on. This planet was taken from us 550 years ago. And their time is up. That's why everything shifted in 2020. Like, I know y'all noticed that the world was like on a moving at a certain pace. And then 2020 hit, and it's like that pace just changed. It disappeared. That's because it's over with. So now you're just watching the system break down little by little by little by little. Oh yeah, definitely. I definitely promote businesses and stuff like that. And I do it for the low. Like, I'm not about, trying to tax you. It's $33.69, $33.69. That's super cheap. That ain't even gas, shit. That ain't fill up in your car. So if you want me to promote something, you gotta email me though. My email, divineinsight@theuci.online. Yeah, thank you. If you haven't hit the like button, please do. And once again, man, I love y'all. Peace to the gods and goddesses of the planet Kai. We opened up this lesson with positive energy. So I'm gonna close it out the same way I opened it up. So shout out to everybody that tuned in today, wherever you from on the planet. I don't know where y'all at on the planet, but wherever y'all at on the planet, thank y'all for tuning in. Definitely share the live 3 times, spread the information, and y'all can catch me on Instagram tomorrow. So I opened up this lesson on perfect peace, and I'm gonna close it on perfect peace. I leave as I come. One.